Tommy Reynolds has his gun out. He's pointing the gun, and all of a sudden, I see this woman.
They say it's on every single station. They're saying that Daddy died.
He said there was an accident and your father is no longer with us.
In real life, I'm not like that.
And the Mario test was disgusting.
One night I jumped out of a car doing 60 miles an hour because I was addicted.
Salute, Mob Tube.
Salute, Mob Tube. How is everybody tonight? Glad to see we got some people here already. Natalie C. Christie sent $4.99. You guys need to respect my son Tony. He ran a panhandling crew, I think. All right, that's good. Thanks for the super chat. If anybody sends super chats, they're appreciated. We put a lot of work into this show, but if Chicky or Anthony are in the middle of something, I might not be able to read your super chat out loud, but I will put it up on the screen. Cash apps are welcome. The link to my Cash app is in the description of this video. I'm looking forward to this, guys. This is going to be good. We're going to have a good time. Anthony Grasso is a character, so is Chicky. So I'm going to welcome them on now. Here is Chicky Cechetelli. Chicky, how you doing, my friend?
What's up, pal? Can you hear me good?
Yep.
Good.
All right, let me bring Anthony on.
No, boy.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Hi,
good.
Ant.
You okay? Anthony, you okay?
Yeah, I hear you guys good now.
All right, good. All right, so obviously both of these guys are going to tell parts of their story. Anthony is going to be telling a lot more. This is mainly an interview of Anthony, but I want to have Chicky tell us a little bit about himself if he wants to go first. So, Chicky, whatever you feel you want to let us know about yourself or your life, feel free. I'm sure everybody's interested.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris. I grew up in Western Mass, Springfield, Mass, my whole life. As a kid, got in a ton of trouble, 16, 17, 18 years old, assault and battery with dangerous weapons, crazy things. I grew up with Anthony since we were about 10 or 11 years old in the south end of Springfield, all Italians. Anthony went to an Italian school called Mar Carmel. I was up in East Springfield on Hungry Hill. It was more Italian and Irish. I grew up in East Springfield. I went to the school system up there, and we hung around every weekend in the South End. At any given day, there was 50 Italians at one corner, our age, maybe another 50 up the street, a half a mile, the older guys, and then the younger crew, maybe like 12, 13 years old on another corner. Anytime we got in trouble, could have been 150 guys in one spot within 45 minutes. Anthony will tell you that after. We grew up with a huge mafia presence in Western Mass, Springfield. Unfortunately, as kids, we had people have posters of like Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth, all Pete Rose on their walls. We had pictures of John Gotti Sr. We had pictures of Vincent the Chin Gigante on our walls. Unfortunately, just the way we looked up to them, like people looked up to, like I said, Babe Ruth and all the big baseball players. That was the mindset that we came into as kids. We were up around that since we were kids. Me and Grasso grew up together since kids. And you can, we're talking tonight, but you can Google anything we're saying. It's all up and above board. Google any of our names, it'll come up. I'm the last guy in 2004 that was indicted as a straight sports bookmaker who ended up in federal prison just for sports bookmaking alone. Okay. I'm the last guy in New England that was convicted and sentenced to federal prison at the USP Canaan in Weimar, Pennsylvania for just straight bookmaking. Anthony will tell you his story. Anthony was with us. He got in trouble for extortion and bookmaking. He'll tell you that story. And After that, I seen the writing on the wall. A lot of people around me started flipping, becoming informants. Got a lot of people in our friends and crew in trouble. And I saw the writing on the wall ahead of time, thank God, before I was facing 20, 30 year life in prison. And I said, you know what, I'm all set. And we are where we are today. And with good people around me, I'm getting into the movie business and writing a book. And that's pretty much me in a nutshell. And I'll lead you on to Anthony now.
Okay. Anthony, your turn. What can you tell us about your upbringing and what started to get you into some of the things you were involved in?
Well, first of all, let's just say this: it was a glorious time when we grew up. It was a glorious time. I mean, first of all, let me just tell you about Chick. Okay, I grew up. I went to Mount Carmel, where kindergarten and 8th grade, where there was a couple of kids in there. I won't name names, but there was one kid in there. It was so bad in there. The kid would fight everybody every day, lose half the fights, win half the fights. But if you didn't fight, they jump you in the bathroom. That's how Mount Carmel was. The nuns used to beat us, hit us. I mean, they used to crack us right in the face. I mean, but Mount Carmel was so fun. We had bellissimo. We had beautiful girls. I mean, we had so much fun. The Boston Balls was it was out of control. I mean, that's how much fun Mount Carmel was. But, Chichetelli, he's got a big heart. He went through a lot of stuff. But people, got to understand, he was the biggest bookmaker from here to New York City. Before New York City, I mean, he was a big-time bookmaker. I mean, we had so much fun growing up playing sports. I used to always play against him. He used to be on my brother's team. But there were so many times, I'll make it, real quick, that, we used to hang around with Chick a lot. And then he started being a bookmaker higher and higher. And I was down every week. All my friends were down. So every time I see Chick, I try to go the other way because he knew all the figures, who was down, up. But I'm not kidding. He was the biggest bookmaker around. Everyone knew him, but he had a gentle heart. But he also had a mean side to him, But, that's just what he had to do because he was hanging around with a different crew, a higher crew, and everybody went through him from East Coast or West Coast for a bookmaker. But other than that, growing up in Springfield, Mass, every single kid's got a story. Everybody who I talk to says Springfield is just like Philly. They're good guys. Everybody's got a story from. All we did was gamble, chase girls, and ball bust. Like, to give you a little story today, I was bored on my mind today. So all I did was, go into supermarkets and just start laughing like a weirdo. just like a weirdo all day today. People are looking at me, thinking I'm crazy, just having a little fun. But that's how Springfield was. So all we did was gamble. So, so I started gambling, losing. And then I tell a bookmaker, yeah, I got 3 or 4 more guys. Meanwhile, the 3 or 4 guys is me. So when I'm down with them, I tell them I got 6 or 7 more guys. Yeah, it's good, Anthony. Keep getting it going. So I borrow money from a loan shark to pay the bookmaker. So I get 4 more. I'm getting some more money from a loan shark to pay a bookmaker. Meanwhile, I got like 15 people, and they're all me. And mostly all my friends are doing the same thing. I mean, I was just out of control in gambling. It was just, it's mind-boggling because you don't realize how fast you can fall into something so bad. But I was so sick. You can find a bookmaker anywhere in Springfield. But, so I kept losing, borrowing, loan shark. Then I said, how much is too much? So, meanwhile, to make a short story quick, I owe so much money at the time. I'm in Foxwoods with a friend. I won't mention his name. So we're up there gambling. We bust balls left and right. So one story. So he always gets me, right? So I got him. We're at the casino, and remember, everyone knows Sam Rothstein, right? From the movie Casino.
Yeah. Casino,
so yeah. I go to the intercom, and this kid that I'm with owes this a bookmaker, and so he busts my balls all the time. So I get him good. I say, so I went to the page. I paged him. I said, Sam Rothstein, come to the back room at the high stakes in the blackjack. And the friend looks at me, and goes, "Did you hear what you just heard?" So I came back and took a seat. And then they'd said it like 3 times, and the kids under the table, under the crap. I just bust his balls. I wanted to break his balls, like the kids here looking for him. So he's under the table yelling at me, "Come on, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here." So then I finally told him, he's screaming, throwing things at me. Well, meanwhile,
Now,
so I
don't want to cut you off, Chris. Can you hear me, Chris?
Yeah, well, real quick, Chicky. Damien just texted me and asked Anthony to please stop moving his phone.
Yeah, just keep it straight, Ian, please. But
Is there anything you can prop it up?
Let me get one thing straight so he don't screw up the people listening. Sam Rotzi is only a pretend name. It's another kid in our area that was a big bookmaker. You understand? And Anthony goes to the where they announce it in Foxwoods or the casino and said, "This kid's name is in the casino." Now his friend's playing blackjack. He owes the kid a ton of money, so he hears the name and gets panicky. You understand? Because the kid who he owes a ton of money, Anthony pretends the kid's in the Foxwoods. You know what I mean? So that's why the kid got crazy. But go ahead, Ant.
Yeah. So meanwhile, so I just started gambling. We're going out having so much fun. I mean, I could tell you stories about bar fights left and right. I mean, there was one bar fight where
go into the MTV, Anthony. The MTV.
Yeah, everyone knows Downtown Julie Brown. She was a big time on MTV. She used to pronounce the name like Downtown Julie Brown.
In the
That's
90s.
how she used to say it. And she was big time. So we used to hang around this bar called Fitzdugan's. And she came over in Chickabee, and we had a crew. We had like 19, 20 guys, right, laughing, boozing. You know me, I have 2 drinks, forget about it. I try to hit on every girl. I can't handle my booze, right? So Chicky's boozing too. We're laughing, dancing. Everyone's bumping into each other. No big deal. Let's have a little fun. It's live on TV. And then all of a sudden they get excited. The people that were Downtown Julie Brown started bumping, us, me, bumping into Chick, bumping all the guys. So, Chick out of the blue says, "Listen, calm down. We understand where you're from, but listen, you're not from around here. We are." So it got a little crazy, more bumping. Then all of a sudden, Chick just gave me the eye, and then I know when he gives me that eye, gives me that look. So I wasn't a tough guy back in the day. I'm strong as a bull, but I didn't know how to fight, and I'll be honest about that. And so I looked at the kid and I laid him out, bang, and he went down. And then a little melee circus. Chick's on. I mean, I hate to say this, but my nickname for Chick was the Hammer. And every time we used to go out, he had like a little pocket hammer.
A long time ago.
Then also a long time ago, but then all of a sudden I see him. Watch yourself. I hear Chick. Watch yourself. Be careful. All of a sudden, out of the blue, he pushes me aside, and here comes the hammer. Boom! And he hits the kid, and that's when Downtown Julie Brown starts going crazy. "You guys can't do this. Who are you guys? You can't do this. I can't believe this is going on." And so a big melee. So we wrecked the whole thing. And I mean, people talk about to this day. I mean, Downtown Julie Brown, long time ago, 20 years, even
she was huge.
MTV started talking about it. But it just was, it was out of control, but it was so funny just to be there and see it. Everyone's going crazy. Like you said, I'm not a tough guy. I hardly got in any fights. All of my friends always fought for me, But when I laid the kid out, I mean, it just erupted everything. The Chick gave me that eye, and I just said, forget about it. And he went down, and it was so funny. Everyone was laughing.
Let me cut it for a minute, Chris. You got to understand, we were young kids. We were little punks, 18, 19, 20 years old. We're at the clubs. We're out having a good time. Now, keep in mind, we used to go to the clubs every week in the same spots. Thursday, Friday night. They all knew us. We had a great time. So for MTV to come to this club, and we were all excited to watch big time Julie Brown. What was her name? Whatever. Julie Brown. Yeah. So they had all the cameras set up. MTV, they're clicking that thing, the thing where they click it. Okay, we're ready. We're live. And they're abusing us. Get out of the way. Push back. So I said, Jesus, all right, you're doing MTV live. We respect that, but don't abuse us. And meanwhile, a big melee starts. I mean, this is us. Another quick story. I ran a bar in downtown Springfield called it was called in the beginning 10 years after, then it became the Solution. It was a 4-story bar. Everybody used to go there, and it was owned by a guy who became the boss of our areas. His name was Adolfo Big Al Bruno, who you can Google the guy, and the guy was a serious guy. So he owned this bar, and we ran the bar for him. So Grasso tell you, we were all there, maybe like 10 of us. We'd hang around. He let me and another guy run it at night. 3 o'clock in the morning, we have to lock it up, count out the money, pay everybody. And what a crazy story is, one of the rock bands that played for us at this place was a group called Stained. Aaron Lewis, Stained. And anybody that knows rock and roll knows this group. They're huge, okay? And I used to pay these guys. There was 4 guys, $200 a night, $50 a guy. Now they came on to be huge rock and roll stars. They're known all over the world. Stained, Aaron Lewis. So one day, the bar closes, and it used to be all college kids: Springfield College, American International College, Western New England College, UMass, all these big football players. And they would come to this bar and they want to start wars. They want to start wars with everybody. So I used to say, come on, I'll buy you a drink. Don't start a fight in a joint. You don't know who owns a joint. Please, you don't need that. So make a long story short, a bunch of our friends would hang around, and Grasso will tell you everything. A bunch of our friends would hang around. So in one night, God's honest truth, we're waiting. Remember at 2 o'clock in the morning, they used to have the hot dog stands in front of the doors of the bars where everybody's hungry, drinking and hungry. So we were getting hot dogs at 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it was. And these football players were like big animal football players. They were like tough guys. They were drinking. They abused the girls. They abused everybody. So I'm with Grasso. I'm with like 3 other friends of mine. And the football players from UMass are squeezing mustard in the girls' faces, and they're making an asshole of the whole place. Oh, we don't care about nobody. And I'll just give you so we hung around with a bunch of guys. And when I say a bunch of guys, a lot of these guys were 18, 19. But later on in life, and I'm not going to mention names, they became bosses within the Genovese crime family, who operates out of Western Mass, Springfield. And this is nothing I'm saying. This is all public knowledge. So we hung around with these kids. That's kids. We all were kids. And then later on in life, they became bosses. So one kid in particular was 5'4". The kid was a little kid. We hung around with him since kids. The kid was an animal. So these big football players, 6'4", 6'3", they're squirting mustard in girls' faces. So this kid picks up a no parking sign. It's like 4 or 5 feet long. And he says to the kid says, "Oh, I'm going to kill you, you little bastard," to this 5'4" kid. And the kid takes the no parking sign and smashes it right over the kid's head, the football player. So a big war breaks out. And this other friend of mine starts running. They're chasing the kid. And Grasso will tell you, this is how crazy we were. This football player takes an axe, like a half an axe, almost like an Indian, them little half axes. And they hit our friend in the back of the head with an axe.
And it stood in there.
Right. It stood in there like a movie, okay? The axe stood in his head. And we couldn't pull it out because they said if you pull it out, it might leave particles in his head. So make a long story short, I'm just telling you the guys that were around us. They were crazy. And then Grasso will tell you the rest of it. But we went and visited the kid in the hospital. He had all kinds of metal chips in his head from the axe. These are the kids we hung around. This is on a weekly basis. And as kids, 16, 17, 18, we were getting pinched for assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. It was crazy. And
we had a tremendous crew. Yeah, we had a tremendous crew. I mean, wherever we went, I don't like to say it, but it was like Moses parting the sea. Every time we went in any bar, people would just get out of the way. We take their girls, and I'm not trying to be cool enough. We have no problem grabbing the girls. We leave with them. But every bar we went to, we had like 17, 18 kids. And not just to be cool and tough guys. That's just how we were. We were so close-knit. Mark Harmon was unbelievable. And like Chick said, the corners, there was a older side and a younger side. The older side had like 60 guys. The other side had like 30 young kids. But, girls would come down to us. You didn't have to go out that night. They would pull up. "Oh, you guys are cute, this, that." Then meanwhile, we go take a ride with them, hang with them. But the corner was well known through everywhere. People come all over through the city. So that's how glorious our life was. But
so
let's go
ahead. Go into the gambling thing, Grass. Go into the gambling thing.
So let's go back to my so I was sick of paying. I was sick of owing. And like I said, Chick was getting higher and higher as a bookmaker. So I was on my own at the time, a couple of us old. So, you know, I had enough, and I was getting messages. I told people I was going to show up. I didn't show up. You know, so meanwhile, I owe $65,000, and that's the God's honest truth. So I'm driving around owing $65,000, I think, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Every text I get, I'm going to break your head. We can't wait to see you. You're going to pay. You're going to be a low life. What are you going to do? You're going to pay up to be a man. You know, I'm scared to death. You know, I'm not a, say that. You know, I'm really scared. So, you know, I got a tremendous wife. How many times I must have borrowed? And I'm not kidding when I say there's $2 million I probably borrowed from my wife and my brothers. I mean, how many times am I going to go to them? So I said, screw it. I'm on my own. So I was at the Holiday Inn in Holyoke, Mass, with no money, no gas, and it was absolutely freezing out. You know, I'm sitting in there for 4 days, 5 days. I'm getting the text messages left and right. And meanwhile, I'm freezing at that. I got the weirdos walking by me in their car looking at me. And I felt like rolling down the windows. Listen, I'm one of you guys now, too. So don't start fucking looking at me. I felt like thinking. But, yeah, so I'm so bad. So, you know, 5 days go by. You know, I got nothing. You know, I'm starving. I go into the Holiday Inn looking for food. I go in the back room, steal a sandwich. You know, I go to the bathroom, try to brush my teeth. You know, I got nothing. So I go back in the car. And then the last thing that hit me is one of the guys I grew up and said, listen, I mean, he said it flat out. We don't care about the money, Anthony. We just want you. And I went, whoa. I said, so that put me, I said, listen, I'm the
That's no good.
Lowest. Yeah, so I'm the lowest of the lowest. And when he said that, I just want you, I said, damn, I got to think of a plan. So the best thing I do, I call my best friends up. This kid, Charlie Dipple, who was a tremendous athlete. He moved back to New Jersey. So I just told him I'm coming up, and he said, yeah, sure, Tony, because I always bust him. You know, when you're doing well, you don't see friends, your old friends, because you're doing so well. But when you're down, that's when you go see people. So I screw it. So I borrowed a couple, you know, dollars from my brothers to get gas money just to make it out there. So I start heading down there, and I show up at his house, and Charlie goes, wow. He goes, I can't believe you came here. And he looked at me in the eye, and I looked, and I said, Charlie, man, I said, I'm in trouble big time. I said, you got to be quiet. Don't tell no one I'm at. You know, everyone knows Springfield. I owe a lot of money. Can you help me out? And he goes, yeah, no problem. So I start hanging around there. So I'm still getting the texts. We're going to break your fucking head. How long you think you're going to hide from us? You better pay. You know, and I'm scared to death. You think you're all right in New Jersey. How many times I look over my back? And so I'm there for a while, you know, and then my kid, Charlie, my one of my best friends, he's hanging around with all, you know, guys who got yachts, big time cars. So he's hanging on rich. So I'm thinking in the back of my mind, maybe if I get I should have no problem getting a bookmaker here. So that's the first thing I think of, right? So I get a bookmaker, and what happens 2 weeks later, I'm down $6,000 and I got no money to pay. So Charlie, you know, he's a junkie. Like mostly all his friends are big time. They got yachts, tons of money, but they're all junkies. And I can't stand drugs. I told you, every party I went to, you know, Charlie's yelling, Anthony, have a line. Yeah. So I grab the line. When he looks the other way, I throw it in the air. Yeah, give me some more, Charlie. And then one of his friends called Joey, this big guy had a yacht. He goes, check these ecstasy pills out. So right away, he gives me that, right? I put it in my mouth, have another one. So I take it, I throw it in the air when he looks the other way. You know, I couldn't stand drugs, but they were junkies. And so meanwhile, I'm trying to think what I can do. You know, I got a beautiful wife at home. Would I put her through hell? I got my father who worked in a factory all his life, two brothers who were well-respected, great, hardworking, and they're honest. They gamble, but they gamble and they pay. But so I'm there for a while. So I out of the blue, I just go to Atlantic City by myself like a weirdo. I applied for a job for security, and I just said, screw it. Maybe I'm just going to have to be out here, right? And so I'm thinking, walking around, and then I go back. Then I start thinking again. I get bad texts. I'm you know, crying about my family, this and that. I said, what am I doing? You know, I'm thinking of a plan. So my plan was, I used to go to Vegas plenty times back in the day. Good times and bad times. There's good times where I went to the casino. Like you ever go to Vegas, right? People get off the thing, they're singing. Oh, it's a glorious time. It's fun. We're going to Vegas. You know, everyone's pumped up. But you get them on their way back. People are down. They're borrowing. They don't have money for a taxi. But that's how it is. So I asked my friend for $1,000, and this is a true story. I don't bullshit when it comes to gambling. You know, I'm still embarrassed to this day. You know, I lost a lot of friends from gambling. I'm a humble kid. Friends are everything in the world. Money's fake to me now. I mean, friends are everything. So I get the $1,000. He gives me $1,000. So meanwhile, I got to try to figure a way to get to Vegas. So I lie, say there's a death in the family, you know, with the airlines. You know, I did it like 9 times before and always works. I paid I get $98. So I go to airlines. So I drive from Jersey to Philadelphia International Airport. That's where I got it out of. So I got the busted like $2 of gas left in the car. So I drive to the airport. I get on the flight, and that's when I get there. I get to Vegas. You know, I got no money to get to the Mirage. Like back in the day, I still to this day can go to Mirage and stay for free. But there was times where I went to Mirage. You know, I paid for the phone and stuff. I didn't pay for the hotel. Sometimes I get it free. Sometimes I don't. 6 or 7 times back in the day, they walked me out the back door because I couldn't pay the bill for the hotel. They walked, sorry, Anthony, you got to go. And that's a true story. People laugh to this day. I got walked out like 6 times in the back door. Goodbye, Anthony. Don't come around here. We'll throw you out again. and so that happened like 6 times. So at other hotels too, Excalibur, Bellagio, you know, Excalibur was a small casino, but they used to throw me out all the time. Every day see me, you ain't gonna pay the hotel. Get out of here. They know me by face. So I got the money. So I go to the Mirage. I sneak on a little that's going to Mirage, a little like taxi with other people. So I sneak in.
Tell them about praying to God. I don't mean to cut you off, but go to that one.
So meanwhile, you know, I go upstairs, get the room, and I'm all set. So I get down on my knees and I cry like a baby. I mean, real tears, crying. You know, I was really crying, right? I was crying for a while, right? Loud. And I prayed to God. I said, God, if you get me out of this one thing again, I'll never gamble. I'll be a good husband. I'll be a good father. I'll be good everything, right? But meanwhile, you know, real quick, short, you know, as soon as I got home, I started gambling again. It was the stupidest thing.
Yeah, of course.
But meanwhile,
well,
so
wait a minute, 1 second, Anthony. What year was this exactly?
This was about 1997.
Okay.
And it seemed like yesterday. I know it's like 22 years ago, but it seems like yesterday. I can remember everything like nothing. So I come downstairs, and you got to remember this. I know everything about sports. I know every game. And this is when Shaq and Kobe played together. Okay? And I had like 980 left. This one, Shaq was young, vicious, used to throw elbows, throw people on the ground. He was just vicious. Remember when Shaq came up? He was mean, vicious, and nasty. And the same thing with Kobe Bryant. When they played together, Kobe had no fear. I mean, you know, he would just go by you, dunk on you, and just they would take over the game. So they were playing at the field house. And people that gamble got to know this. So the Lakers were on a 15-game road trip. 15 games in a row they won. So I know how hard it is to win the field house. So I said, screw it. And remember, I take a one-way ticket. So if I lose this game, I personally said, I'm going to live here the rest of my life if I lose. If I lose. Because I got a one-way ticket. I don't have a two-way. So, you know, I'm thinking about the game. You know, I'm thinking about betting 102. I said, screw it. Let me bet everything I got. So remember, they won 15 in a row, the Lakers. So I bet the Pacers because of Reggie Miller, one person. So they're like plus 340, plus 350. So if you put up 1,000, you win 3,450, stuff like that. So I bet the 900, right? And the game's going on. You know, people are cheering. Everyone's happy, hugging. People kissing next to me. Meanwhile, I'm fucking down 65,000. People don't know it. I'm way away from home. I miss my family. You know, I'm crying during the game. People are looking at me like I'm on drugs, which I do no drugs, none. And people think I'm crazy. They won't come near me. You know, I'm bawling. Shaq's dunking. I went, what the fuck, God? I'm cursing God. I said, you know, really? I'm going to be a security nerd the rest of my life here, or I'm going to work in a pastry shop somewhere. So meanwhile, the game starts going on left and right, and all of a sudden take a 15-point lead. The Lakers at halftime. I'm like, well, come on. So make it quick. Third quarter, the Pacers start cutting it. So 2 minutes later, Pacers. Reggie Miller, you know, the nasty three. I mean, he was nasty. Him and Kobe never got along on the court. I mean, they used to hate each other. But so Reggie Miller hits 2 minutes left. They're up by 1. Reggie Miller hits a 3. So meanwhile, I'm yeah. I'm going nuts. I said, yeah. Come on, Reggie. All of a sudden, Kobe steals the ball on just a pass it into a bounce. Steals the ball, hits a fadeaway 3. And so meanwhile, 30 seconds left. I end up winning. Okay, and now listen to this is where it starts getting good. So I get paid probably like $31.52. I got $32.50 in my pocket, right? And I don't drink. So right away I go to the bar. Give me a C&C. And I got no idea what a C&C is. I just heard someone say it. Because I don't drink and I don't smoke and I don't do drugs. So I used to follow people, copy. I didn't know what to order. Just like at restaurants. You know, I never knew what to order. I used to order chicken fried chicken almost every day wherever I went. But so it gets going. I get the money, right? So I hate to say it. The first thing I think about is, you know, back in the day when the wind blows, I used to get a heart, and I hate to say it, right? So there's girls all around. So I said, screw it, let me get a girl upstairs first. Maybe it'll get me going and stuff, right? So I get a BD girl. She looks she's probably a 4. Oh, busted, broken down. I call the BDs broken down. That's my name for the girls. So I get her upstairs, right? I think I'm a hero, banging her left and right. She starts licking balls. You know, you get into it. It's
asshole. We're for gambling. We don't care about the broad.
All right. So, I'm done with the girl, so I go downstairs. So out of the blue, I go right to the horse track because I'm a horse track junkie too. You know, out of the blue, I bet $50. I win. I think the thing was like 20-1, right? So I won a good chunk there. So I'm bouncing around, just fooling around, you know, betting blackjack, 500. So I start hitting that. So I'm hitting, all of a sudden I'm up to 40,000. Right? I said, whoa! I said, here we go. I said, look out, right? And so I start bouncing around. So I get up to 50, right? So I start betting NBA games, and I tell you, I was hitting NBA games like they were going on a style. And this is the best. So I get up to 60. I get up to 70. I have parties in my room. Right. The best thing to do, I meet people. Every guy I know, I threw out because I didn't trust no guy. So there was all girls up there and me. You know, we were kissing, having fun and stuff. So me, like you said, the cocaine, the drug stories started coming. They give me, yeah, here you go, Anthony. I throw it in the air again. Right. So then I go downstairs. I get it up to 90. I get it up to 100. Right.
100,000, Chris. 100,000. He's up to.
It's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unreal. Yeah. So here we go. Right. So I go to look at the lines. I'm at the Mirage, and there's one girl. I mean, Bellissimo. She's so beautiful. She flirts with me all the time. So I look at the lines, right? And people think I'm crazy to this day. I try to tell people, and they're like, sure, Grasso. And Damien, I'm trying to hold this still. But listen, so so I'm up to 100,000. So I'm at the window, and I'm looking at the lines, right? And so when I'm starting to look, I see the final score in my head, and people think I'm nuts. I go back and tell people the story. Yeah, sure, Grasso, sure, with your bullshit stories, right? So I see the final scores in my head. So I'm just going with it. I said, what's God trying to help me? I did pray to him. I said, there is a God. I was an altar boy back in the day of Mount Carmel, but I was bad. I used to steal the bread. Remember the bread? You used to get the bread. That's how bad I was back then.
Fucking God.
So I see the final score, so I start betting. And I'm not kidding. I seen the final scores where the games are over. So I'm betting 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. So I get up to 150, right? So I say, I start to get a little entourage starting to follow me around. So I have a little fun. I go to the bar. I meet a pit boss, and I forgot to hire than a pit boss. A guy was following me around. He would take me to the blues. He would take me all over, like party with me. We go to play blackjack. I win 5,000. He starts shaking his head, but I'll finish that in a minute. So then he goes, Tony, I want to introduce you to two people. There was Lionel Richie and Johnny Mathis there, right? And they were with a bunch of girls and stuff like that. And so Johnny Mathis is singing, he's dancing, chances are. Remember that song? So I was getting into it, right? And all he goes, Lionel, who's your friend? And I yelled at Anthony, why? He goes, come up on stage. So I got up on stage. So I started dancing.
Guys, pay attention to this part of the story because this is fucking crazy.
Crazy.
So I start dancing around. We're boozing. laughing. At the end of the night, we're drinking, laugh. Everyone's gone. All Lionel Richie's girls are looking at me. Oh, what do you do? What do you do? I said, what do you think I do? I run everything real estate out here. Anybody buys a home, they go through me. Yeah, so people leave me. So I start making out with her there, or laughing. All of a sudden, Johnny Mathis is getting close to me. And you know how when someone hangs over your back, you're like, what the fuck? So Johnny's getting close to me. He's grabbing my leg. And he whispers in my ear, and it's a true story. I don't bullshit when it comes to game. So he goes, "Do you mind coming up to my room with me?" And meanwhile, I'm Briagone, and I'm rocked, right? So I'm thinking, I said, so back in my old Springfield ways, I started thinking, maybe Johnny's got tons of money in the room. So I'm thinking of something like that. So I said, Johnny, I'll go up in the room with you, but you can say chances are, but that's it. And he goes, Tony, I want to blow you. And I Lionel Richie hears it, and he starts laughing. He goes, Tony, just go up in the room with him. And I go, Lenny, are you kidding? I'm kissing your friend right here. You want me to go with this guy? And so meanwhile, he one more shot he gives. He goes, come on, Tony, let's just go up in the room. And I said, listen, I respect you, but I said, please get away. And then after that, he had like 4 shows left. And I just go by just to bust balls with like drinks. I had like 4. I had an entourage. I had like 5, 6 girls hanging on my back. And I would look at Johnny and I give him one of these. I give him one of those just to look at him, so he get him jealous, right? And that's when I was in good shape back in the day. I was fat, sloppy, 210, balding. But I tell you, I had it all. So I leave him alone, right? I say bye to Lionel Richie.
Hey, go into the crap story. Go into the blackjack story with the guy that gave you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I started hanging around with not the pit boss, the next one higher up. So like you said, I get the 180, 190. So I said, let me tool with this guy, right? I said, let me tool with him. So I go to the table. There's $10,000 limit. Now, if it was a $50,000 limit, I would have bet $50,000. So there was a $10,000 limit, and so I bet $10,000. Okay. Now I want everyone to picture this. Everyone to go back in time, because there's so many degenerates in the world they can understand this. Okay, so I get 10,000. I put it down, and what do I get? 2 8s, right? And so I said, what? So I had no money. I had all the money in the safe in the Mirage, right? So the pit boss, I go to the guy. I said, let me talk to this guy. He said, listen, I'm not taking a hit. I said, my money's in the room. You know me. Let me go up and get it. And he goes, he thinks about it for not even a second. He goes, whatever you need, Anthony. Spot him 10,000, right? So he spots me the 10,000, gives it to me. And what do I get? And a 10 and a 10 for 18. And I'm saying, yeah. And he's got a 2 show. The dealer's got a 2 show. Okay, now ready. I want everyone who's listening to this, all the degenerates, understand this. So the dealer looks at my eyes. I look at the dealer. The dealer's going slow. I'm trying to be cool, but meanwhile, I'm sweating like a motherfucker. He's going so slow. He looks at the card. He sees it. He looks at me. I look at him. And it took like 20 seconds for him to flip it, right? So he flips over at 9. He's got 11. So I said, in my mind, I'm going, God, don't do this to me. But I'm trying to be cool, right? So he's got 11, all right? So he flips over the other card, and again, takes his time. He sees it before me. Every other dealer, he's busting my balls. Every other dealer, you just flip it. Plus, you got the pit boss and the other guy hanging over our back. So he looks at me, looks at the card, looks at me, looks at the card. He flips over a 6 for 17, and I got 18. I said, yeah, God's real. And I started going, I started kissing up it. I started, yeah, God, you're my son.
Yeah, what'd you win on that hand? What'd you win on just that hand?
40,000. I won 40,000, but I had to give 10,000 back to the dealer, the guy that led me. And the guy looks at me, not the pit boss, the other guy. He looks at me, he starts shaking his head. He goes, and he looked at me right now. He goes, Tony, you know how much longer I got to work here? It's not that much money. We make a lot of money, but you're killing us. And I said, matter. I kept saying that to him.
Anthony, I know people out there want to know. You had a ton of money. Go into the story of why didn't you just call home and pay everybody off now and end it? Go into that.
Yeah. So let's just say this. So I get up to 200,000. I get up to 280. So I start doing the right thing. So meanwhile, let's just say real quick, I spent 3 months out there, and I thought it was the first time I called back. I thought it was like 3 weeks. It was a month. And so I start sending money. This kid I grew up, this called Alphonse, one of the nicest kids in the world.
Beautiful kid, nice kid.
Nice kid in the world. His brother died when he was young. So I send him 9,000 because because when you go Western Union, you can't send over 10,000 or it's a red flag. So I kept sending 9,000. The Western Union ladies looking at me like a wacko. So I kept sending 9,000. So every time I show up, I got better outfits, new sneakers, better jumpsuits, all different kinds of stuff. Like to bring it back real quick, like when I first got there, I thought I was golden. So what do? The first thing I see guys from Springfield. So you know what I do? I go into the broken down shop. I buy fake gazelles. I buy a Kango. I'm hiding from the people. There's people I know they're from Springfield. So I'm hiding, ducking. So I had to bring that up. But, so the lady at the Western Union she goes, can I ask you what you're doing? So I keep sending money back, 9,000. And to make it a real story quick, I don't mention names besides my friend Al. I love him to death. When he first went down and paid a certain guy, the guy, they're both Italian, and he was like, good thing the guy spoke Italian. The other guy saying, oh, calm down. This is for you. Then he got all happy and hugged him. So I started paying people. My poor father, I sent him 9,000. Right. Another kid, Joe, I said 9,000. I kept on paying people off, right? But I kept winning. When I say I went back to started betting, right? I saw the lines again, like the game was over. And I'll tell you, people to this day, they can laugh at me all they want. I saw the final score. I knew something was going on. Something was funny. So meanwhile, I'm having fun. I'm walking the streets. And when I say, I probably blew 20,000 on women, but, I grabbed a lot of girls on my own. I had fun with every girl. When I was done with it, I threw out because I thought the famous thing, they're going to drug you or do something. So I threw them out right away. But another funny story, I went back to the Western Union. She goes, can you help me? I got a bunch of kids, right? So meanwhile, I'm on fire. So out of the blue, she asked me for a game. This poor lady, I gave her a game, right? I gave her the game and it lost. And for some reason, I didn't bet it. So I had to fight another Western Union lady because I was embarrassed to go back to the poor lady. But, it was just mind-boggling. So I was paying everyone off. So meanwhile, here goes the boxing story. For all these boxing stories people want to hear. And this is, if people know Lennox Lewis and Oliver McCall knocked him out, and Lennox Lewis was like crying. He hit me with a shot I didn't see.
Chris, you should show that. You should see that. You should show that fight when he goes into the story. But you do what you want.
I'm going to. You let me know when you're ready. When I should put it on, Anthony.
Why don't you, Anthony? Let him put on the boxing match now.
Let him see it first. Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys that are listening, Lennox Lewis and Oliver McCall knocked them out in the first match. So they're fighting the second one in 97 at the Hilton. For all you people who think I'm bullshitting, they fought at the Hilton. I got front row from this kid that I was playing baccarat with. He was betting 10,000 a hand, went up to 150,000. So we started hanging around, laughing, boozing. He goes, Tony, I got a little information for you. I said, what? And he knows I got tons of money. He got tons of money. He goes, do you know Oliver McCall is in a rehab right now? And I go, really? And he goes, well, what should we do about it? He goes, he's fighting soon. He goes, listen to me. He goes, he's in a rehab. He'll never win. Bet he gets knocked out before the fifth round. So meanwhile, I got tons of money. So I said, screw it, let's go to the game. So we both get front row seats. I bet 60,000. He was like plus 20, plus 120, plus 180 to get knocked out before the fifth round. So before we show you the little picture of it, so I'm front row and I hear Jim Lampley and George Foreman. They used to do the analysts for the boxing. And I could put my hands out and touch them. You know me, I always bust balls. I did a couple of things like Foreman, you can't fight no more. You're too old. I'm breaking balls. I said, Lampley, you got nice hair. He just looked at me like I'm a weirdo, right? So I was just busting their balls. So I hear him talking, saying, this poor guy, Alan McCall, he comes out of rehab. Why can't he fight? And I'm looking at my friend, and my friend's looking at me. And we're going, yes. He goes, this guy shouldn't be in the ring. He's fighting. So all of a sudden, I see him come in the ring, and he looked like, I've been around a lot of kids that do drugs, and I can't hate it. I hate it. Oliver McCall came in shaking, looking at like the crazy look like this. He had that crazy look nonstop, just staring at people. And I said, look at this bird. I said, we're all set, right? So here's a little clip before I tell you the fish.
Yeah. Let him show the clip and then go into it. Let him show the clip.
Yeah, let me pull this up. Give me 1 second here. All right.
Remember, guys, this is the second fight.
Starting to look look around and mug for the crowd as though he's either bored or frustrated.
Grasso's in the front row.
He's not doing for the moment is winning rounds.
He's hardly fighting right now.
He's walking around.
He's
Now you can hear the commentator say, "Look at him! Look at him! He's spaced
trying
out.
to figure out what's going
He won't
wrong,
even sit on his
why he's not
on the
into
ground.
this fight."
Look at that look.
His own corner's sick with him.
Yeah. It's mind-boggling, and you can't see it. Remember, I'm front row. I'm 2 feet away from George Foreman and James Lampley.
I fucking love this clip.
He don't want to fight. The guy don't want to fight. His own corner's abusing him.
And they're just showing a couple things, but I'm telling you, before this, the first 2 rounds, Lennox Lewis was busting him up, and he couldn't fall because he was all drugged up. I mean, the guy next to me, I was hugging him. We barely knew each other. We were hugging, yelling, screaming, tackling each other. We're smacking people next to us in the crowd, high fives, and they're looking at us like we're crazy. Well, people don't know I had 60,000 on this fight.
Yeah.
Chris, 60,000 on this fight.
Unfucking real.
Yeah, but have to get knocked out before the 5th round. So yeah, take that off. But so let me finish the story. So
hold on, let me see. I just want everybody to see where he breaks down.
Chris, his own corner's yelling at him. Get back in there.
Yeah.
And if you listen to George Foreman said all I want to do is hug the guy. You know, he had a lot of respect. I just want to hug him, show him it's okay. I know what he's going through.
Look at him, he's crying.
Matter. Keep drugging. That's what drugs will do for you. Hey,
unfucking believable.
It's just unreal. And I was there. You know, Anthony Grasso from Springfield, Massachusetts. I tell people to this day about it, and they're like, "Sure, Anthony, sure." But as soon as I mention the Hilton, because usually the fights are at Mirage, MGM, and this one was at the Hilton for some reason. I don't know why. So a lot of people really couldn't see the whole thing. So I'm there, and in a second or third round, he starts crying like a baby. I mean, tears are coming out. Before the thing you guys just saw, he's just walking around like a wacko, like he's on drugs. So Lewis is hammered, and me and the guy go next to him. So it goes to the 3rd round, and we need to get knocked out by the 5th. So it goes to the 4th round, and we're starting to get a little nervous. And that's all of a sudden the tears are starting to come out. He wouldn't sit on his stool. And all of a sudden, I see the ref, right, coming closer. We're going to win. We're going to win. Me and the kid are hugging. Remember, me and the guy don't even know each other. He's a Hawaiian guy. And we're hugging each other. We don't even know each other. And we're hugging. Right? You did it. I owe you, right? I got tons of girls. I'll bring you up to my room with good girls. I'm telling them, right? And meanwhile, he has a wife that's sitting next to him. You know, so I'm yelling, having fun. And so in the 4th round, I mean, the ref had enough and just stopped the fight. And so I can hear everyone saying the corner's trying to get after him. People are trying to get in the ring to fight him because they got money in the fight.
Grass, tell him what his own corner is saying to him in the ring. You're front row. What is his own corner saying to him?
He said, "You got no class." And one of his got no class is the worst thing you ever did in boxing history. He goes, "You're worse than Roberto Duran." Hands of stone. Hey, so one of his brothers, right, starts yelling out, "We're not going to get the purse. We're not going to get the purse money. They're going to take it away." And I said, "Meanwhile, I'm getting a half of the purse, 60,000." I hear his brother saying that. So, and there's nice people around me saying, "Oh, we could help the guy." You know, what do you mean help that guy? You want me to tell you my story? I'm at a Holiday Inn for 7 days with no money, no gas. Help the guy. So meanwhile, you know, I get paid, right? You know. But first, I want people to notice he was in the ring after it was shut off the video. 17 minutes go by, 18 minutes go by. So I'm breaking balls, yelling, "Get the junkie out of the ring!" So I got, you know, I don't do drugs, so I don't understand it. So I got junkies behind me. What are you making fucking people who do drugs, right? And meanwhile, you know, people are starting to get mad. Everyone's getting mad. People bet on the fight. They're yelling, screaming. So I said, "Let me get out of here for something escalates," right? And 18 minutes go by, 19 minutes go by. He wouldn't get out of the ring. They couldn't get him out. So meanwhile, the only reason they got him out, they had to escort all the fans out. So all the fans had to get out. And so I'm trying to peek in. People are yelling at me, "Get out of here," right? I'm trying to peek in. He's still in the ring crying. like a baby. You can't see when he's crying. He's crying like a baby. So I really don't know what happened, how they got him out of the ring. So I got my money. So what happens, right? So I got it up to like 280, 290. So I go back to Western Union, start paying people. Bang, 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 right? I'm seeing them final scores, bang, bang. Forget about the girl stories. I don't even want to tell you. 3 or 4 times a day I go up. I told you walk around there, there's girls that are so beautiful, you can't help it. You know, you go upstairs, you come nice, right? You come back down, there's another girl hanging over your back. And when I say I had an entourage, I had like 6 broken down people with me following me around, girls following me around, normal girls following me around.
Gross, tell them the story when you almost got kidnapped. Tell them that story.
Yeah. So I'm in the Mirage and I'm hitting things left and right. So I'm having the best time in my life, but then I don't realize how long it's going. And so, you know, a lot of people know this, just like Foxwoods or Mohegan. You go somewhere, people look. If you win a lot of money, they're going to chase you. So I go in the Mirage, right? I go out different doors left and right. But every time I go to Mirage Sportsbook, I go out the different side door. So I go out the side door, and I always keep my eyes open because you always keep them open. So I go out, and there's a van out there, a white van, like right next to the door. It shouldn't be there, right? There's 6 guys in the car, and I see them. I see them. They all look like wackos. And I knew right off the bat, so I kept my eye on him. All of a sudden, the guy reaches out, grabs my shoulder, and I had a baggie pack with me. So
how much money do you have with you in the baggie? How much money do you have with you?
Probably like 80,000. I had 80,000 in the baggie pack at the time. And all the money was up in the safe. So he tries to pull me in the car, and the people behind me, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it scared the people, and all of a sudden I just took off. So I knew I was getting kidnapped that day. The people from behind me helped me, and whoa, look at this!
Look at this crew right here.
What's up, pal? What's up, pal?
MMA fighter, 3 wins, 10 losses.
Hey,
Oh,
hey, listen. You're gonna abuse me when I see you, you fucking cocksucker. Hey, listen, Grasso's got an unbelievable story, huh?
Yeah. Hey, all kidding aside, Damon, big heart. Hey, great fighter. I can tell you a story about him. And Damon, tell him the story about the basketball.
No, you got to tell. I'll tell the story about you, but you got to tell the story of what your brother told about what happened at the game, at my son's game.
Hey, listen. Before we tell the story, right, Damien and Grasso, before I want to tell the story, let me just reach out real quick. All the people that that go on my Instagram, please hit subscribe and like to Chris Fatball Sicilian. He's doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, definitely.
And not only that, I just got to tell you real quick. We came on today real quick because, believe it or not, we're with some good people, and Dame will tell you later. This story right here, you guys, just so you know, in the future, we got good people. This story is going to be a documentary or maybe a movie. We're not going to get into particulars right now, but just picture the story he's telling. And when he finishes the story, you'll know. If we get the right people, the right producers, and the right actors, this story could blow it out of the water. And I'm just going to end it at that and let them guys continue. But believe me, this thing, it ain't just going to end at this show. Believe me when I tell you, but let's continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, like you guys say, it's all true stories. I don't bullshit when it comes to gambling. Like first of all, when we first got on, I kind of was mad at Chick and Chris, because today's the Gen Day. The Patriots are on. There's like 7 NBA games. I'm shaking because I didn't get a bet in. so let me tell you my rest of the story. So I got it up to
this guy's a fucking sick maniac.
Go ahead.
I get it up to 280, and now I want you guys to all visualize this. Everyone saw Cape Fear with Robert De Niro, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chris, did you see it?
Oh my God, I love that fucking movie.
Listen to
I
this,
love that
Chris.
movie. So meanwhile, I got a little entourage, right? And so I go into the sportsbook Mirage. It's like 2:30 in the morning. The lines for the final scores are up. And, I'm looking at him. I said, I know the final scores before they're even up. I said, I don't even need to look to the right. Entourage is in the back. So I got a broken down Tiparillo because I don't smoke cigars. So I get a Tiparillo. Eventually, I get bigger cigars. So I sit in the room. You guys ready to visualize this? So I sit in the room. Everything's going good. Everything's going. And all of a sudden, I do the Robert De Niro laugh. And so everybody's looking at me like a wacko. Remember, I know a lot of people in there now. I've been in the Mirage 3 months. So people are coming, you all right? You need help? You need a doctor? I said, let me just laugh here. Let me tour with these people. Entourage are looking at me like I'm crazy. So I'm laughing.
Chris. Hey, Chris. Meanwhile, his wife.
Like Bobby
Hey,
De Niro.
Chris.
And I
Chris,
call him
his
Bobby.
wife.
I don't call him Robert. I said, Bobby.
Chris, his wife has no idea where he is for 3 months.
No.
Are you serious?
Ask him.
Yeah.
Oh my
Listen, I put my wife through so much, so much I can take. I had to leave. I told a couple people where I was at, but I had to leave. I couldn't put that girl through too much. She's
Anthony.
a registered nurse. She works 2 jobs. She's Portuguesa. And,
hey, I was just gonna say when we were at the Portuguese restaurant, you got Portuguesa.
Yeah,
you gotta have the little wine.
Yeah, we had the little wine. It was great. That was a good time that night.
We had a good time. So listen, what I want to say about Grasso's brother is Grasso's brother and his brother's son and my son played on the same basketball team. And his brother's a fucking hothead. He'll tell you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that was my fault. Go ahead.
Okay. So, Grasso, do you know the story about when we almost got into a beef?
Joe just flat out tells me like I don't know the whole story, but Joe.
Okay, so basically we were at the Holyoke Boys and Girls Club, and
a lot of blood. That's what Joey said. A lot of blood's coming.
People. In Holyoke, Mass, it's mostly all predominantly Spanish people. Okay, now we're in hostile environment because we're like Joe Grasso, his brother's Italian, like I'm Italian Irish, like. It's mostly all like Irish and Italian people on one side cheering on their kids' team. It was a big game. It was a playoff game. And basically what had happened was there was a guy's wife that started abusing one of the kids on my son's team, started like yelling at some random kid on our team. Like that's like me yelling at somebody's kid while they're playing. You don't fucking do that, right? So as soon as the woman started doing that, yelling at the kid's son, the wife of our friend Chet Ardolino stands up, right? And she's like, she starts yelling at her, and they start going back and forth, chomping at the bit, right? So I wasn't gonna get involved. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, this guy comes out of nowhere, and he fucking goes up to Chet Ardolino's 80-year-old fucking father and gets in his face, right? Yo, once he did that, I came down off the bleachers, and there was almost a riot. His brother picked up a chair. We almost got into like this huge big beef. It was fucking insane. But that's one story with him and his brother, man. His brother's a tough guy, and he's a good guy, and
yeah. So it's just me to end on it. I mean,
yeah, Damien, let him finish. Damien, let him finish when he's finishing in Vegas, coming home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finish the story when you're coming home now, getting ready to come home.
But just finish on Damien because it was a good story. We'll tell.
It was great.
My brother Joey said it the best. He said everyone looked around, but they were scared to death of Damien because when he said it, a lot of blood coming.
Yo, because once he started abusing the old man, I wasn't gonna allow it.
Yeah. So the rest of my story. So I'm laughing in there, having fun. I'm laughing.
Anthony, let me interrupt you for 1 second. A lot of people in here are asking if you're related to Billy Grasso. I don't know if you want to comment on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't like to talk about it. I mean, it's
Understood.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But he don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, he really gotcha. He was big time. He was Pazzo. He was crazy. He was a lunatic. I mean, he was just an absolute.
And he paid with his life for it. To be honest,
that's it. They didn't call him an animal for nothing.
Yeah.
And sometimes animals get put down, and unfortunately, he got killed because of how crazy he was. That's the reality of it,
That's what happened. He tried to take over Springfield and forget about it.
You know what, man? All these people that are crazy and that look, man, when you're dealing with a crazy person, there's only one way to deal with someone that's crazy. That's the reality of it, especially in that life,
Yeah.
But we won't get into that neither here or there. But so go ahead, Grass, finish.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry about that.
No, not at all. That they should. I knew they were going to say that, and he's ready to say what it is.
Yeah. Tough life.
Go ahead, Grass.
Yeah. So finish my story. So I speak to my friend Alphonse again. Meanwhile, I'm there 3 months, and I don't realize it's that long. So I get it up to 300,000, 350, and I paid everybody off 65,000 plus a little interest, 2,000, 3,000. I waited for one person to pay at the end, and so I get out. So before I leave, this kid Alphonse says, "Tony, how much you want to win? Just come home." So I'm thinking, my brothers to this day, one of my brothers, Johnny, tells me, he goes, "Tony, you should have waited to a losing streak, and then you should have came." And I wish I did, because like I said, I was seeing the final scores before the games were played. And I'm not crazy. I'm not nuts. I'm not a drug addict. None of that stuff. I saw the final scores when the games were played. All right. So what do? I listen to Al. So before I get on the plane to come back, I had to, I didn't care. I was one way. I think I paid like $600. That wasn't that much one back way. So before I get on the plane, I get a drink and I look at the scores. There was like 3 scores I wanted to bet, 3 games I wanted to bet 30,000. This is all NBA. I was absolutely crazy in the NBA. So I look up to the thing, all 3 games won. So he cost me 90,000, and I was sick to death. And I was cursing him. Well, meanwhile, I get on a plane. I got all that money. After I paid everyone off, I probably had like 340,000 left in the bank going through the airport. So when I go through the airport, I'm thinking, it's different now. I said, what if they find out with this money? What can I say? Oh, I can't lie. I'm telling the truth. I want to gamble. So I wasn't worried. So meanwhile, I go through. And so what happens? You're on the flight. And all of a sudden, there's always one weirdo next to you. Always, a turbulence come, right? It's the plane shaking, right? And the guy next to you, if we go down, we'll never feel it. I said, listen, buddy, in my head, I said, listen, I got so much money. And this guy's busting balls about turbulence, and turbulence was so bad. So, he's laughing, trying to talk to me. The turbulence is shaking, And so we ended up making it home. So what do I do? So I get back to the airport, my broken down car. So I'm figuring what the payment's going to be. So I got a busted Cadillac, old Cadillac, Philadelphia airport. So I go through to pay my bill, right? And remember, this is way back. To this day, it probably would have been like $10,000 for the bill. So the guy goes, he tries to bust balls. So I go through. He goes, oh, Massachusetts boy, where you coming from? Right. So I laugh. I said, first of all, what do I owe? What I got to tip you? I'll give you a little tip too. He goes, listen, Anthony. He goes, you got to give it. It costs $880. $880 back then was a lot of money. So I give him $880 and I give him an extra $300. He goes, whoa, where'd you come from? And I go, listen, be careful when you talk to. So I just ended up laughing. So I go through. Instead of going back to New Jersey, give my friend $1,000 back. This is the lowest point in my life. I should have gave him back 1,000 plus 10 or 20,000. And what do I do like a degenerate? I go right by New Jersey and forget about him. And to this day, he passed away, and I feel like a grub. I couldn't believe it. Well, meanwhile, I'm going through the thing. Back then, I'm laughing. I got the music on, going through busted North Philly. Everything's all busted, right? But I got a meanwhile Cadillac, all that money in the car. I said, what if my busted Cadillac breaks down? But I'm playing all kinds of music.
Hey, Grasso, I don't mean to cut you off. Let me just do this. Chris, I want to tell a little something. Now, here's a kid who 65. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Here's a kid, and this is just, and people don't know what I'm saying. Here's a kid owed 65, 70,000. He didn't have it. If there was ever a kid who would become a rat, okay, he didn't do it. He went, he said, listen, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to do what I got to do. And he made right. And everybody in Western Mass and all around respects this kid. They say of all the people out there that turned, this kid did the right thing. He paid everybody off, plus, took care of everybody. So when he walks around Springfield, he holds his head up high. And I'm not just saying it. The kid's a true kid. He could have done. There was people for a lot less money that did bad things. And this kid, I got to say, he could have took the money and ran and said, screw everybody. This kid did the right thing. And that's all I'm going to say with that.
I met Grasso not long ago, but I'll tell you what, he is a stand-up guy, and he speaks highly about his friends and stuff like that, and that means a lot to me. And he's got a good heart, and he comes from a good family, and he's got a super talented son that's a great athlete, and he's just a good guy, man. Ever since I met him, we've had some laughs and stuff, and I'm grateful that I have good people in my corner.
Thank you, guys.
But Grasso,
don't forget, Damon. The first time we met each other, he wanted to attack me.
Listen,
like everyone else in my life.
Grasso, I don't want to cut nobody off. I don't want to cut nobody off. Grasso, tell the story. Get into the story how you come back to Springfield, everybody's paid off, and now through the miracle of God, you get your dream job. Go into that.
Yeah, okay, listen to this. But first of all, with the story, I wanted to go back. To this day, there was one person, I won't mention his name, was pretty high up, came to me, and he goes, he caught me. I thought he was going to stab me, cut me. He cornered me and got me. And he goes, and the words out of his mouth, I won't mention his name. He goes, if you pay me You only have to pay me. Don't worry about no one else. And I looked him right in the face. I said, listen, you can stab me, hit me over with a hammer, do whatever you want. There's no way in the world I'll do that. He goes, are you serious?
So
I want to be
basically,
able to walk
he was trying to protect you.
Yeah, all for himself.
Yeah.
All right, so meanwhile, I say no, but thank God I left. And also remember, I took a one-way ticket. So if I didn't win, these guys probably wouldn't have got paid. I hate to say it because I was broke. I had nothing. So, but my main thing was to win and pay everyone off. But so meanwhile, back to partying, come around, having fun, right? So I applied to ESPN. I know a kid that used to work in a temp agency. And so this Puerto Rican helped me up. His wife works in a temp agency. So she got me in ESPN. And it's like my dream job. I know everything about sports. So they get me in a videotape library, right? so first of all, I always ask people to this day who owns ESPN. No one knows it. It's
Disney.
Disney owns it. A lot of people don't know that. So real short story, quick. I mean, I filled an application, convicted of felon. I wrote yes. So when I got on the phone with the lady, she called me from Human Resource from Florida. She goes, Tony, what's this convicted of a felon? And I said, oh, it's just a speeding ticket. I panicked. She goes, no problem, Mr. Grasso. I'll take care of it. No problem. No one checked my background check for a while. And I'll get out to that later. So meanwhile, I'm in a videotape library. It's so big, you got to use a bike to go around and get the tapes. So I'm having fun in there. I'm meeting people, Mike Dicker, Guy Lafleur, and Flower in the NHL. Barry Melrose I meet. Quadri Ismail and Rocket Ismail, like one of my best friends. They both played at Notre Dame and played in the NFL. So meanwhile, I'm having fun, and try to make it short. I meet this one guy who's a writer, Italian guy, who gets in trouble. Everyone knows Jeremy Lin, so he got in trouble for calling for chin in the armor. That's like a disrespect to Chinese or something. So he gets fired, but before he got fired, he got me in a radio for an interview. So I get an interview for a radio with this guy, Peter Chacon. And I hope he's listening to this day because he'll laugh, another Italian guy. So he gets me in the cafeteria. I'm busted, a bunch of jumpsuit on from the videotape. He's all dressed up, shined up. He's laughing, got 6 phones on him talking. Hold on, Anthony, I gotta get to you. So he finally gets to me. Tony, know how to run a board? No. Do you know how to cut highlights? No. Do you know anything to do with the air? No. Do you know anything about radio? No. And he goes, Tony, how am I going to hire you? I said, well, listen, I'm a paisan. You can't hire me, right? I said, we're both Italian. And he starts laughing. And he goes, all right, Anthony, I'll give you a shot. So meanwhile, like a smart person, what I do is, I get in there. They got me cutting highlights. And I tell you, when I first looked at it, I said, listen, I looked for the door. I said, there's no way I can cut highlights. It's too hard. But meanwhile, you cut the games right there and you get to listen to them live in here. So I stay. What do? Like a sports nut. When people leave, I stayed. I learn how to cut. I learn how to cut. And then the next couple of days I come in, people get one game. I'm cutting the Yankees game. I'm cutting the Dodgers game. I'm cutting all kinds of games. I'm like the best at it. People are coming up to me, hugging me. So real quick, we get Christmas bonuses, right? and my lady comes up to me and she goes, Tony, we got a nice Christmas bonus for you, right? And she goes, first of all, you got 6 checks in there you haven't cashed. And you go, what's the reason? I said, honestly, I'm having fun. I said, what's the big deal? And she's no big deal, but take your money. So she gives me a Christmas bonus for $6,500, right? Everyone's jumping around laughing. I said, yeah, all right, give me the bonus. They give me a check, right? I don't care because I'm having so much fun. I don't care about the money. So I'm cutting things. And one guy just called Mark Hesteser, and everyone can Google him. Mark Hesteser, he does ESPN radio, all the big games, all the radio games, everything. He looked at me and he goes, Tony, I never met anybody in your life, but you're so old. He goes, all these kids are 18, 19, coming from college. You're like 40. I don't know where you came from, and I don't want to know, right? And so he goes, we got to get you something, right? And so I cut one highlight for him, and he shook his head. He's like, and after when the game's over, they say, oh, thanks for this. And you don't have to mention the production assistant. So he goes like this, and he goes, to my friend now who's cutting all the high production, the best cut man in the business, Anthony Grasso, and it's going over the air, right? And no one believes me back home, right? I'm telling people, you bullshit. So I go back into the back to cut it myself, right? I can go back in the fire, cut it myself, I bring it home. I got to show everyone. No one believes me. So he called me the best cut man in the business. So meanwhile, they said, you got to learn something. So they put me on a board with Colin Coward. And Coward moved to Fox. He's a millionaire now. So he moved to Fox, and he was throwing at me all the time in here. I learned how to run a board, and he's throwing at me. And meanwhile, I'm thinking, all it takes for one person to see me, I'm on ESPNU, to see that's Anthony Grasso. What the hell is he doing there? Right? And so to this day, I still don't know how I got fired. So to make a short story short, so I get called down to human resources. You know, I'm
Well,
laughing.
hey, Grass, I don't mean to cut you off. Tell them the story prior to getting called down. What? Tell them about your conviction, your extortion conviction, because it leads into that. Tell them about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, so I did 18 months in federal prison, you know, and I'm a nobody, absolute nobody, just to hang around with guys. The people I hung around with were serious guys, like Chick. He's the best bookmaker in a long time in Western Mass. 25
Long
years.
time ago, pal. Long time ago. Go ahead.
But he was the best, the biggest too. Well respect. I told you there's times I see him in a bar. He gave me one of these. You know, call me, because he was with a different crew. He's, you know, he's so high up, I couldn't even talk to him no more.
Yeah. Come on.
Just
tell your
he
story.
knew all my figures. He knew all my figures. I was always down. So So meanwhile, I do 18 months in federal prison. So they call me down. You want me to go to this shit? So they call me down in human resources, and you know, I get surrounded. The lady looking at me weird. She's looking me in the eye. She goes, Anthony, first of all, I want to know how you got into ESPN. And meanwhile, I'm going, I said, what are you talking about? I said, I work overtime. Anytime you need me for the shift, I'm always here. You know, I'm having the best time I like. Everyone loves me. I said, what are you talking about? She looked at me again. 2 guys come behind me. 3 guys come behind me. 4 guys come. I said, whoa. I said, what's this? I said, who's the criminals here, right? And they looked at me like I was whacked. And they said, what do you mean criminals? I said, what do you guys want? He goes, Tony, we know you're part of organized crime. And I said, come on. I said, I'm an absolute nobody. I'm a hang-around guy. I'm a nobody. And he goes, listen, with The Wire, we know you're a gambler. We know you're part of a crew. He goes, The Wire, everything comes down. If Larry Bird out, we know if he's out. You get all the stuff. You want to give it to your friends. I said, what are you talking about? I said, I'm a nobody. I don't know anybody. I always just my dream job. And she goes, also 15 people. And then one guy who's about 5 foot nothing looks at me and goes, you're not leaving here. I said, we're not leaving. I said, what are you talking about? You know, so I started panicking a little. I got everyone surrounding me, and I'm trying to think, did I steal something? Did I say something bad? So I'm trying to think. She goes, you're not leaving. I go, what are you talking about? She goes, we know you're part of organized crime, but we want to know how you got in here before you get out of here. So meanwhile, 10 minutes goes by, 15 minutes goes by, 20 minutes go by. They won't let me leave. So I'm sitting there, I'm sweating. And meanwhile, I'm putting things in my head. I said, maybe someone saw me on ESPNU. You know, there's always haters that probably said, that's Grasso up there. And all it takes for one person to make a call. So that's what I'm figuring out. So all of a sudden they go, all right, come on, Tony, we're walking you out. So meanwhile, you know, I'm friends with everyone. They're walking me out with an entourage, like 15 people. So I'm going through a parking lot. People are looking at me. I'm so embarrassed. You know, people are shaking their head. They don't even know what's going on. And they go, get out of here. We don't want everyone to see you again. We're going to find the truth, how you got in here. You know, I mean, so meanwhile, I go back to the Springfield days. I said, if I take a swing at someone here, there might be it's their fault for hiring me. So maybe I should take a swing at somebody and cause a big melee, a disturbance or something, you know, because it's not my fault they didn't get a background check. So they walked me out, and they told me to get out of it, but I got 30 texts, 40 texts, 50 texts, 60 texts. And to people this day that still see me, they think I'm a big time organized crime figure, and I'm a nobody, absolute nobody, degenerate, fun guy, bust balls, and that's it. But
Grass, tell them the story about how you picked up the indictment and what.
Yeah, so I go back hanging around. So
go ahead, tell Chris.
You know, just hanging around with our old friends. You know, a couple of serious guys, a couple of phonies, just a couple of hang around guys. You know, I'm just a hang around guy. So you know, I started gambling. I started gambling against. So a couple of friends.
Let him finish, Dame.
Don't mention names, though.
He knows that. Go ahead.
So we started gambling, and all of a sudden, you know, indictment comes out, and you know, a couple crews get caught. They get caught, and so meanwhile, there's a kid I grew up with. You know, I won't mention no name, but he's a flat out junkie and a rat, and I'm not afraid to say it. And So meanwhile, he's down like 50, 60,000, and he lives in a worse section. I thought, no way in hell the house was paid. So the house was paid, and he ended up refinancing his home. Make a short story short, paying the bill. So I go down, pay the guy. I think I'm a hero. I get drinks. I get a little tip. We're hugging. Grasso's the best. Grasso's the best. I'm laughing. I told you the guy paid, right? And all of a sudden I get a phone call later, and it's the guy. And he goes, come over. So I go over, and I'm at the bottom of the stairs, and I know the kid's a junkie, right? So he's at the top of the stairs, and I'm about to come in. He goes, no, come in. And all of a sudden I see a shotgun. No lie, shotgun pointing right at me, right? And I'm not an idiot, right? So I know he's a junkie, so he's probably all messed up. So he tells me, Tony, I paid, but the feds came to me, and I'm ratting. I'm letting you know. So I try to come. I said, why are you doing that? I mean, what's the matter with you? I mean, you just paid it. You know how these people are. They're trying to bullshit you. They're talking. You paid it. Everything's good. Why are you going that route? And so he goes. All of a sudden I heard, and that's a shotgun, right? And so I play it off, right? And meanwhile, in my head, I said, this kid's a junkie. He's going to shoot. And all of a sudden, I try to think of something. So I froze. When the double shot, I froze. I don't know why I didn't run right away. And all of a sudden, boom, it wasn't no shotgun, but I ran away. I took off, and I was gone. Then, a few months later, he ended up testifying against all of us. And then there's another good story. Chris, you got more time for this, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. I also want to get to at some point. You didn't talk about the suits and the casinos. I wanted to ask you about
that was the best. I mean, we could go back to that real fast. So, like you said, I'm a nobody. When I started to make money, I had one jumpsuit when I got to Vegas. Busted sneakers, dirty, no toothbrush, nothing, right? And so when I start winning money, I start playing the role. I go into right in the Mirage, buy suits. So I buy one suit. I walk around, with my busted entourage. I got nowhere to go. I'm walking around with a perfect suit, hair all nice. I used to get waxes over there, massages. So I walk around with a suit. Meanwhile, I get another suit. People like the suit. And I'll tell you, to this day, when you wear a suit, people treat you different. They treat you different with respect. I had girls coming up to me. I mean, I had no problem anyway, but I get a third suit. I get a fourth suit. I get a fifth suit. The money's just rolling in. I'm buying things left and right. Tiparillos, cigars. I mean, the people were looking at me like I'm serious, like absolute crazy. I used to walk the streets, and no one believes me to this day either. I'll tell people I gave $10,000 out. I gave $2,000 to one person. The guy had one leg, a couple kids, a couple dogs. I gave him $2,000. He looked at me like I was God. He's lumping around trying to follow me, right? And I go, listen, just take care of yourself. So I give. I go from, listen how much a degenerate I am. I use a taxi, and it's like 2 feet away. I paid a taxi $50 to go to the casino 1 feet away. I give a guy $50 to 1 feet another casino because I used to check all the casinos for the best number, the best line. So I was giving taxis $50. Taxis were cutting people off every time I come outside. I mean, the tips that I laid out to people, like I don't forget to be down. I mean, I was down to the lowest. And like I said, 7 times I got walked out before in Vegas with no money. Can't pay the hotel. They throw me in the back. I used to walk the streets. There's one time in an hour I had a broken down chain. I walked the street. I got like 140. I walked all the way back like a weirdo. I mean, there's times I was down. So when I used to tip people, it was for real. But the
Grass,
suits,
tell them about the truth. Grass, tell them about the truth. Losing your tooth.
So another weird story. So there's this guy named Lamar Odom, right? And
he was married to Khloe Kardashian. He was married to.
Yeah. So I'm eating a steak with a bunch of guys. As a matter of fact, it was Lionel Richie at the time. And so I'm eating a piece of steak, and the tooth fell out. Oh, I said, what the? So now I'm like yuck mouth walking around with a $2,000 suit. Tiparillo cigars. I got a busted tooth, right? So I look like a jerk. So right away, they know I'm a big shot now. I got comp for 2 months, 3 months. Right away, they get me in a cab. They bring me right down to the dentist. So what happens? The guy falls in love with me right off the bat. Start throwing names around. UNLV, yeah. I do all the braces, the teeth for all the players, right? Jerry Tarkanian, all of them. He goes, do you know Lamar Odom? And I said, yeah. He goes, do you know who I am? I said, no. He goes, now I'm the dentist that paid him money that he got. Remember, Lamar Odom spent a half a semester in UNLV, and he played for a half a semester at UNLV. So he got thrown out for taking money. But he was there at UNLV. But what a small world. I meet a dentist that pays Lamar Odom, you know, for getting thrown out. So I even Googled him when I got home. He got in trouble. He had to pay tons of money. But poor Lamar Odom, for taking money, got thrown out of Vegas. So Tarkanian was sick. So they threw him out. So that's why he went to, matter of fact, he went to Rhode Island his next stop. But meanwhile, I got close to this dentist, and, you know, he loved me to death. We used to eat, but he told me that story. Now, that's another absolutely mind-boggling story that a dentist helped pay Lamar Odom some money, and then he got thrown out for, you know, taking money, taking bribes. Another crazy story. But,
you live a charmed life.
Yeah,
yep. This guy, I never met a guy that has better luck than this guy.
Hey, but there's a lot of bad times too. There's a lot of.
No, I know.
You know, I hate.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. I don't know where you're at in the story exactly. You might not want to go to this just yet, but your time in Allenwood.
Oh, right. Go for that, Grasso. That's great.
Yeah. So I go to my time in Allenwood. Now, first of all, I was having so much fun. I mean, Springfield's just unreal. I mean, like you said, there was a crew.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Were you with a guy named Georgie Zapola?
No.
Never heard of him.
Because he was in Allenwood. I know he was in Allenwood too.
He wasn't there. Grasso, tell him the story about Allenwood.
Yeah. So like I get there, right? Now, first of all, you know, I really thought I was getting probation because I'm a no. I didn't do nothing, right? So just to hang around, you know, if you get caught with a bunch of people, you do time for the higher up. So I said, sure, yeah, I'll do. I don't mind going away for people. And they're all friends anyway. So I get 18 months, right? So everyone goes to Fort Dix. Everyone goes to Fort Devens. And I don't know why I go to Allenwood. So I go to Allenwood, right? And, you know, like you said, you go in the hole first. There's sick people laying on the cot, all messed up. You know, I think I'm a tough guy when I'm going in. And I'm not afraid to say that. I was scared to death. You know, this first time I've been in prison, I didn't know what was going on. I was scared to death, and I'll admit it. And so I go in, you know, I'm at the bottom bunk, 6 people laying on the ground, and people don't realize until someone gets in a fight or goes home, you stay there so you can't tell your lawyer nothing. So meanwhile, I finally get out. You got to go take an AIDS test first. You go see the nurses. So the nurse goes to me. He goes, Tony, 758. I said, what is? She goes, what is that? And she didn't know. They were all laughing. Doctors didn't know, right? I said, just take the AIDS test, man. I want to see if I got AIDS. You never know, you know, the weirdos we hang around. You never know. I'm all good. And all the stuff I've been through, throwing the cocaine in the air, girls without rubbers. I shouldn't say that. But
whoa,
tell the story, you degenerate.
Yeah. So I go to AIDS test. So a big blood guy that works there says, she goes, I know where you're from. He goes, you're part of organized crime, right? And I play it off. You know, I said, screw it. I just play it off. Yeah. I just don't want to let the nurses know. And so not even 2 seconds. And I still remember this story. It pissed me off to this day. I was walking to where I was supposed to go, and I asked the guy, where's this place? And he gave me the wrong direction. So I never forgot about this. I'll tell you how I get even with the guy later. So meanwhile, I go in. As soon as I go in, bang. I get sneakers, I get sweats, everything you could think of, right? The Boston guy's coming in. I know you're from Boston. You know, they take it, you know, part of organized crime. So the guy's coming over everything. He's throwing names around. You know this, you know this, you know that. So I said, screw it. Let me just play the role, right? So you know me, I always like to bust balls. So there's this one young kid goes, you need anything, Anthony? I said, yeah. I said, give me some lotion so I can shave and hurry up too. But I was kidding when I said hurry up too. So everyone looked at me like, whoa, who's this guy? And the poor kid took off and went to get the stuff, right? He gave, here. I felt like a jerk after. So I played the role. So meanwhile, I'm there. You know, I get walking around the campus.
Tell me who you meet.
Yeah, the first person I meet, you know, to this day, you know, I like to laugh, but there's 3 people in prison where I met where 2 people, one was from East Boston. I'm not afraid to say his name. He's one of the nicest guys, and he's real, and he's serious, and I miss him to this day, and he's from East Boston. His name's Richie 9 Lives Gillis. And to this day, I miss him. I acted like an idiot in prison. He told me what to do, and I didn't listen to him, right? And this other guy, Stevie Lillis, he's from somewhere from Boston, but Richie 9 Lives Gillis been through everything. He was an enforcer back then. You know, I don't want to say too much about him, but I respect him, and I miss him. I hope they're both.
Where is he from? From
East Boston. Go ahead.
East Boston.
East
But
Boston. Yep.
he was honest to me. He tried to calm me down, show me the ropes. Well, meanwhile, what happens? The old Springfield way comes out. I see this guy. No lie, he looked like a movie actor, 6'3".
Listen to this one, Chris.
Yeah, he's like 6'3", beautiful hair, walking around the compound, ripped to shreds. And I seen 13 guys following him. I said, whoa. I said, who's this? There's only one John Gotti in the world, the senior, right? And so I'm thinking, I said, who's this puppy? You know, I'm calling him a puppet like a weirdo behind my back. I said, who's this guy, right? And he's walking around. Meanwhile, the next day, 14 people are following, right? So he meets me, and I'm playing stupid sports, you know, getting injured all the time. He comes up to me. He goes, Tony, need anything? Let me know. You shouldn't be playing sports. Just have a little good time, walk around. I would steal a extra place for to sleep on, another mattress. He yelled at me, what are you doing? Put it back. He made me bring it back. And then finally I put it in. He goes, come on, I want to talk to you. So out of the blue, I didn't go the next day. So there's 16 guys. So the 17th day, right, out of the blue, all of a sudden you see Tony Grasso in the background. The last one, 17 guy follow him around the compound.
Hey, Chris, guess who it was?
Oh.
Yeah, you know, like he said.
Go ahead, tell him who it was, Grass.
Yeah. I mean, his name was Lorenzo Menino, but he was not even a made guy. He was all the guys Sammy the Bull Gravano ratted on were finishing up their 15-year sentence. So I was embarrassed to tell him I had 18 months. And they used to always ask me. I tried to go buy it. Yeah, I changed the subject, say something stupid. You know, I was embarrassed to say it. But this guy, I'm telling you, he wasn't even made when he was in there. I mean, I don't even know if he's made now. You know, he allegedly is the boss or something like
allegedly.
that. But I'm telling you, this guy had a presence about him that was unreal. I mean, I'm not kidding. I mean, no one would talk to me for a day. I was the 17th guy following the background. Wherever he went, I went. You know, but what a presence this guy had. I mean,
Chris, can I chime in? Ross, can I chime in for a minute?
Yeah,
what I just want to ask real quick, what year was that about? People are asking.
That was about 2001, I would guess.
Okay. 2001,
2002, around there.
So, Chris, the reason I'm chiming in is because I just want to let you know, when you go to federal prison, you're around serious guys. They don't pick and choose. You're around serious guys, okay? So Grasso's guys got picked up then, and then we end up taking a huge pinch in 2004. We were the next crew that got picked up out of Western Mass, New England. Grasso's crew went first, and my guys went second, okay? And so they sent me, and like I said at the beginning of the show, I was the last straight sports book indictment that went to federal prison. Okay, now it's legal everywhere in the country, sports bookmaking. I'm talking about a straight sports book, no violence. I was the last guy in New England that went to prison in 2006. So the case came up in 2004. So in 2006, just real quick, they sent me. There was not enough room. I went to USP Canaan in Waymar, Pennsylvania. There wasn't enough room for me there. So they send you somewhere to wait until their room opens up in USP Canaan. So they sent me to MCC Manhattan in the Southern District of, and I mean, heavy hitters there, serious guys. So I'm a bookmaker and I'm on the floor. It's 11 South. I'm in there the summer of 2006 and all Italian guys with me. And I don't know these guys from a hole in the wall. I'm from New England. They're from New York. So and I'll tell you, the reason I'm bringing this up is because how Grasso about Lorenzo Menino. You're around guys like this that are right next to you, sleeping and everything, and they just put you all together. So, God's honest story, I'm around a good-looking guy, dark tan, perfect hair. I've never been around a guy in my life that did better time than this guy. So,
I know who this is.
So he befriends me. The guy befriends me. We're busting chops. I don't know who he is. I'm not going to lie to you. I heard the name. People. So about maybe a week goes by, and other guys are coming up to me, and they're going, Chicky, why does this guy like you so much? And I go, I don't know. I bust balls with him. We laugh. So meanwhile, make a long story short, I'll tell you who the guy is. So he took a liking to me, and it's Vinny Gorgeous, Vinny Basciano, Vinny Gorgeous Basciano, okay? Yep. Now, he's in there facing 2 death penalty cases because at the time his boss Joe Mazzina turned on him. Okay, Big Joe Mazzina turned on him. So, anyways, he's right next to me, two bunks over from me at MCC Manhattan 11 South. Meanwhile, on the other side of me are the Albanians from the Bronx, Alex Rudai, Lenny, Nikki Nails, the whole Albanian crew is there the same year. And you can Google this, it's all public knowledge. So they're with me, and every single night at 7 o'clock, Vinny would take the shower, get his hair done. He'd put on his little sweatsuit, and we'd all have honey bunnies and coffee. And then everybody in the jail knows what honey bunnies are. At night, we play pinochle, all of us guys. So make a long story short, I'm in there about maybe a month and a half. And I'm just bringing up the story Ross brought up about that guy. So I'm in there about a month and a half. So now a spot opens up at USP Canaan, but they always tell you, they don't tell you when you're leaving because it's all secure. And they don't know if you're a triple homicide person or just a bookmaker. They don't care what you are. It's all treated the same. It's protocol. So 3 days before, I'm at MCC Manhattan, 3 days before, they go, Chichetelli, pack it up. So you pack it up, but you don't know if you're leaving for 2 or 3 days. They don't tell you, okay? So I pack it up. So now this is a Monday. So finally, Wednesday morning at 5:30 in the morning, they wake me up. They go, let's go. So Vinny Gorgeous is sleeping right next to me. So I get up and I touch his and I go, Vinny, I'm leaving. So Vinny goes, Chicky, I couldn't make this story up if I wanted to. He goes, Chicky, I'll walk you out. So he walks me out. Meanwhile, Alex Rudai, who, if anybody knows him, he's from the Bronx. Serious guy. He was part of allegedly the corporation.
Can you guys hear me? I can't hear no.
He's a serious, good, but a gentleman. So they walk me out. It's Vinny, me, and Alex Rudai. They walk me out, to before I go out to the door. So, and everybody knows this story. I'm not making it up. Vinny Basciano says to me, Chicky, I wish I knew you were on the street. I pissed my pants the last month and a half with you. You're a funny guy. I wish I knew you on the streets. We could have had a lot of fun. And I swear to God, Chris, I said to him, Vinny, no disrespect, but I go, I'm only here for a small peanut bid for bookmaking. You're facing 2 death penalty cases. I'm glad I didn't know you on the street. And he starts laughing and he goes, you're right. Get out of here. Right. And anyways, I end up leaving. But I've never seen a guy in my whole life do better time than that guy. I mean, he used to work on his case all day. He'd come back 4 o'clock, work out, bust chops with all the guys, play pinochle at night. And I swear to God, we go on the roof because MC's in Manhattan. You go on rec at the roof. You go on the roof rec. He would be up there every day in the if you ever seen him, if you go on Instagram or you go on any kind of YouTube, look up his picture. He was in the worst prison in the country, ADX Colorado, and he has a tan smile. The guy looks like he's in the Bahamas. So I mean, I'm just saying a shout out to him wherever he is now. Somebody said he's in Big Sandy, or I'm not sure where he is, but what a gentleman to do time with. What a gentleman. And so I'll let Grasso get back in the story. I just want to let you know they put you in with serious guys, and it's crazy what good guys they are. So I just wanted to let you know that. But go ahead, Grasso. Finish the story.
I think he's having trouble hearing us. I don't know
Can
what
you hear us, Grasso? Grasso. I don't know.
Let me see if I can take him out, put him back in.
Yeah, maybe.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Grasso. Oh boy.
Let me see something. Can
Hello?
Yo, listen.
Wait, stop, Dane. Grasso, can you hear us?
He can't hear us. Chicky, you want to call him real quick and tell him to go out and come back in?
Yeah. All right.
I can mute you if you want.
Yeah, mute me. I'll call him. Sorry.
All right. That's all right. What's up, Damien?
What's going on, brother? So he's got a crazy story, huh?
It's fucking hilarious, bro. This dude is a gem.
Dude, let me tell you something. When you go out with him, right? He does not give a fuck. He will say whatever's on his mind. He has no fucking hair on his tongue. It's fucking hilarious. We brought him to my friend's restaurant and he fucking puked all over the bathroom.
Check.
Check your thing. We can't hear you. Check that you didn't mute, okay?
Yeah, matter of fact, what I got to...
He said hang up and come back in on that link he sent you.
I can hear.
Hang up and come back.
All
right.
Get back out and come back in on that link, okay?
All right, bye.
I can hear Grasso now.
Yeah, I could hear him too, but he can't
I'm
hear
gonna mute
us.
myself until he's done.
All right, go right ahead. You got some announcements to make anyway, right?
Yeah. So, look, so I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about Chicky. Are you there?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So Chicky, we have a couple announcements we want to make. The first one is I want to give a shout out to my very, very, very dear friend Jay Gioni from Boston. He lives in California. He's working on a movie called Pep, which is about a boxer from Hartford, Connecticut. That was an animal. The lead.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you, Chicky.
Can you hear me good? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah,
We can hear you,
calling
Grasso.
back in on your link, okay, Chris?
Yeah, can you hear us, Anthony?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
finally.
here's Grass.
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
what happened.
All right, Damien, you want to finish up real quick?
Yeah, so I'm going to finish up real quick so you guys can continue talking. But basically, me and Chicky got casted for a movie about Willie Pep. A friend of mine, Jay Gioni, looked out for me and put me and Chicky in the movie. We start shooting on Monday. It's a small weigh-in scene, but it's a great opportunity. And also, we got Hungry Hill dropping next Friday, the Kickstarter. So anyone who can donate, will really appreciate it. You know, we're just grateful, man. Chicky, you want to talk a little bit about the Pep movie? Chick.
Hey, now you came in here, Chick. Now.
Oh, Chicky, you got to go out and come back in.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm eating pizza. My girl just got home. Guys, thank you for all the love and support. We got big things going on. Grasso has a great story. Hope maybe someday you'll see it on the silver screen. Guys, have a great night. Grasso, I'll see you soon. We got to go to dinner or something, Grass.
Yeah, we will. We'll go.
Okay, pal.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Thanks for joining, Damien.
Yeah, anytime, man. Have a great night.
You too.
Yep. Talk to you soon.
Hey, Chris, like you said, you know, a little mix up here, this and that, but I hope that people really got to understand the stuff I've been through. I mean, there's a lot of laughs in it, a lot of fun. Well, man, I've been through a lot. I honestly don't know how I'm living today. I mean, you know, I like to laugh, have fun, bust balls, but you know, I should have been in the hospital, crippled. The stuff I went through. I mean, I put my friends through a lot of stuff, and you know, I regret it. I mean,
yeah, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to talk to you about a little bit. And Chicky, we can hear you.
Great, thank you. Sorry.
Yep, I wanted to ask you about. I mean, your wife stood by you through all this, right? You want to talk about some of the things she put up with?
Yeah, I mean,
the woman's a saint.
The woman's unreal. She's a registered nurse. She graduated from AIC. She works still to this day. She works 2 jobs. She's a visiting nurse, and she works at a rehab in Ludlow, Mass. I mean, but she's a great woman. But like you said, there's always sad stuff. I mean, she wanted a big family, and you know, I got one kid who was just like Damien said, an amazing athlete. He's a freshman in URI. He wants to be an actor. Good looking, like her, Portuguese, dark skin. I got the Larry Bird skin, you know, awful. But you know, I put that girl through so much. You know, to this day, you know, my poor son had to go through. You know, I'm not racist. I don't care. I like blacks, Puerto Ricans, whites. It don't matter to me. I love everyone. But I put my poor son. He was the only white kid going to middle school, and that's because of me. Because I blew so much money. And he always asked me, Dad, can I go to somewhere else where my cousins go and stuff like that? I didn't have the heart to tell him. So there's always the sad stuff. I mean, he used to get in fights all the time. And, you know, what goes around comes around. The best thing I ever did was I put him in mixed martial arts. And that's why you can ask Damien about him. You know, he can protect himself. He's fine. But, you know, he always, to this day, it always back in my mind, you know, Dad, why do I got to go here? We fight every day. I don't mind it. I'm not afraid. You know, he's totally different than me. He's got a lot of balls. He's smart, you know. But to this day, I always never forget. My wife wanted a big family. I probably would have had 4 or 5 kids if I wasn't such a jerk and selfish degenerate. I mean, family, you realize later in life, family's everything. Family and friends are everything.
And Chris, if you don't mind, can I speak in for a minute? I know what Grasso is talking about. I got 2 beautiful daughters. I was blessed with two great kids. Um, as they were younger, I remember I was in prison when they were in their early teens, and they used to come visit me during Christmas up in Pennsylvania, snowstorms. They'd come with my parents. And the bottom line is, we put them through a lot. I mean, I put them through a lot. I mean, and I got pictures of them in front of the Christmas tree at the prison. And I'll tell you, I'm blessed. They both grew up. They got married to wonderful men that I couldn't have picked any better men. They're 27 and 28 years old. I just had my 5-6 months ago. I just had my first grandson, Nazario Nino, and I got my other daughters due December 1st with my granddaughter. So I'm just telling you,
Congratulations.
thank you. These kids grew up in crazy times, and I know there's a lot of people in your audience right now that maybe did prison time or they got in trouble. And in the end of the day, it's our ex-wives and it's our children who suffer, and
I know.
and it's because of us, and they suffer. And we do what we got to do. We go to jail to do the right thing, and they suffer. It costs our marriages. It costs us our relationship with our kids. So at the end of the day, any kids out there today, I mean, the only thing, thank God, when I was younger, right out of high school, I went into the United States military, and I was hurt. That's a whole nother story I'm not going to get into, but I was retired for life. So I did that. That was the right thing I did. And I maybe would have been in 20 years. I loved it. And I got hurt and they retired me. And that's that. But I'm just saying, my kids are my everything. My grandkids are my everything. And I'm doing the right thing now. A lot of positive stuff going. All the guys around me. We got great opportunities. We got good people around us. We're making movies. We're making documentaries. We're trying to do the right thing. I'm writing a book. And, I'm not going to get into it now, but we're doing all positive things. Today, I was in Hartford, Connecticut all day filming the Willie Pep movie in Hartford, The Boxer. And Monday, we'll be there again all day. And one of the executive producers on that movie is Leonardo DiCaprio. And just a lot of good guys. He's not on the set, but he is a executive producer. And we got just a lot of good people. So we're trying to move forward and forget about our crazy past and do the right thing. And
yeah, I mean, Chick's 100% about it right there. I mean, I should have told my story. It took too long to tell the story, but it was just amazing. But Chris, I mean, like you said, there was a lot of laughs in the beginning, but man, did I go through a lot, like with the wife and stuff like that. You regret everything you do, but I'm sure there's a lot of good questions that you want to ask me. If you want to ask me.
Yeah, if any of the guys got any questions, please feel free. Any of the people, I can't see the questions, but maybe you can do them, Chris.
Yeah, this is a good time for questions. Anybody who wants to ask anything to Chicky or Anthony. Isn't it amazing, Chicky, with what you were just saying, and you too, Anthony, because I don't know if you guys, well, I know Anthony doesn't know my story. Chicky might. But,
right.
I was always involved in the drug business, and I did time, and I fucking, I lost a lot because of it, my health and everything else.
Of course.
I had a period of time where I definitely wasn't the best father. Isn't it incredible that we could do all this shit and somehow our kids can turn out so well?
Oh, it's amazing.
It is amazing. It goes to show you the strongness of our kids. Because I'll tell you, my daughters, I'm blessed, and they torture me to this day. If I go off kilter a little bit, they're the first one. They're like, "Dad," and they put me right back in check. And like I said, I'm blessed. They met two great guys that they end up marrying. And I'm telling you, if I prayed to God for better guys to marry my daughters, I couldn't have found them. So it's just amazing how life takes a crazy direction and steers you in the right direction. But I'll tell you the truth, when you change your life, things change. It really, really does. Like I said, we're doing the best we can, and we're keeping all our friends together. Grasso, all the kids are our friends. We're doing. Grasso's in Hungry Hill with us. We got the Kickstarter coming out. Grasso's going to be in it with us. So we're keeping all our friends together. That crazy life came out of it, and we're sticking together, and we're doing positive things. And like you said, you're 100% right. How our kids turn out, it's crazy. It's incredible, and I'm blessed every day. How my kids turned out. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of them. And I know Grasso is so proud of his son.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, Anthony. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, I mean, like you said in the beginning, about my story, it's so much fun, but I lost so many good friends. to this day, some people, still say hi, but it's not like the old days where we hug and laugh, even though I did the right thing, paid everyone off. It's just the stuff you put people through is just mind-boggling. You don't do that to your friends. And to this day, I still regret it. I mean, there's a kid I haven't seen in a while. I won't mention his name, pretty heavy-set guy. I start seeing him around lately again. I love the kid to death. I mean, you don't realize later, how good of a kid he was. And, and it's weird when we're talking again. It just, you realize later, who your good friends and who you're not. And like I said, I missed this kid for like 10 years. I finally got to see him again. And his famous words were, "It's a glorious time."
Are there any questions, Chris?
I tell you, gambling will bring you down.
Any questions out there, Chris? Any questions from anybody? I can't see the questions.
Dell is my name. Wants to know how many times you look down the barrel of a gun. People asking, "Where's my bread?" That's probably more for Anthony.
Twice.
Yeah,
Just twice. Once in New York and once in Springfield.
Yeah, and I got questions for you about that too. I mean, what specifically? I know you told me, but just for the audience, what specifically did they threaten to do to you when you owed this money?
Well, like you said, we were all good friends. I ate at their houses, they ate at our houses. We laughed, had fun, but owing $65,000 is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And when you start bullshitting with people, yeah, I'll give you next week. I keep saying that. And meanwhile, I knew I was broke and I couldn't go to my wife again. I didn't want to hurt her anymore because you never know, she had a heart attack. So I just took it on my own. But they wanted to cripple me. They said, we're going to cripple you and put you in the hospital. We don't care about the money no more. When we find you, we find you. That's it. You can hide all you want. We're going to find you sooner or later. And it's tough to just deal with that because you grew up with these kids all your life. But, it's my problems. I did it. So I just, if they're going to get me, they're going to get me.
Now, Chris, keep in mind, these kids, they're our friends growing up. But as time goes on, they got bigger positions, if you know what I'm trying to get at. They're working for people that are working for people, and they have to answer to their people. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but you understand what I'm getting at, okay? The friendship, unfortunately, in that life, the friendship goes out the window because now certain other people up top are saying to them, friend or no friend, get the money. And you know how that works out. That's just the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Oh, yeah, of course. I still got some
questions
for you.
Are good.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Jordan Canada wants to know. He said, y'all both did Fed time. You think you'd rather that over state time? I know in MA, Walpole Prison was the #1 killing machine in the country in the 70s and 80s. Someone was dying every day there.
Is he talking about Walpole and Walpole, Mass?
Yeah,
Walpole Prison in Mass?
Yeah.
If that's what he's saying, I don't know. Okay.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's
okay. Yeah, he's right. Walpole's a serious place. A lot of the kids from South Boston, Charlestown, the Irish kids, I was with a lot of them in federal prison. Grasso was with a lot of them. They're serious guys. Don't let anyone fool you. Anybody in prison system, federal or state, if they tell you about the Charlestown guy, the armored car guys, at one time, Charlestown, Mass was the bank robbery capital of the country. The movie, they made a ton of movies about it. The Town, all the movies are about Charlestown. The Irish kids in Southie, the Winter Hill Gang, serious guys, state or federal. I can't tell you what state prison's like. I never did state prison time. My time's been always federal organized crime. Grasso has never done federal time either. I mean, state time either. So, but he's right. Walpole's a serious joint.
Yeah. That's what I always heard. Irish Style wants to know, do you still go out to Vegas? If so, what is it like for you to go back?
Well, I've been to since then, I've probably been like 4 times. And it's so, why is it? You guys hear me pretty good?
Yeah, we hear you good. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally different now. It's bigger, it's beautiful, it's more money into it. I usually go to Bellagio now.
Yeah, family.
Yeah, it's usually family, but I go to Bellagio now. But like you said, my main thing, I didn't bet the tables, blackjack that much, just mess around. But I did make a lot of money. But my thing was sports betting. But since they got it at Mohegan, Foxwoods, and all over here, so I really don't have to go out to Vegas no more. So
no, sports betting it became legal throughout everywhere now. Massachusetts is waiting for it to be legal, but everywhere else, pretty much in the country, it's legal.
But what I said about the story with people laugh when they get off the airport, but when they go back on, everyone's down. Oh, you can't win in gambling. You just can't do it. You
No.
can't. No, what I've been through, I mean, how much money I won is just, I'm Catholic. I believe in God. But I had to get help. I mean, there's no way to street. I mean, for me to see the lines before the games were played, I got help. I should have did the right thing as soon as I got home. And to let people know, as soon as I got home, I went right back to gambling, started owing again. Not as much, but I owed again. I was down, but also I made tremendous runs. I mean, there's time I went 25 days in a row to the casino, and every day I would win 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 25 days in a row. So there's times I made great money again, but always bad money. But to me personally, I'll never bet with a bookmaker again. And people probably laugh to this day. I would not embarrass myself no more. I would never, ever bet with a bookmaker today. That's why it's good you can bet around here. I lose what I got now. And I hate to say it, some of my wife stole money.
So that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, it surprises me that you still gamble, but your theory seems to be that, you'll play with what you have. You'll never go in debt anymore as far as owing people, right?
Yeah, I'll never bet a bookmaker again, ever. Ever since that, when I came out, never. But I will go in debt again. But, like I said, I came back, I probably took another $1 million from my wife. And, people are probably, why she with you and this and that. I mean, I believe in first impressions. When I first saw her, I looked at her, I said, oh my God, she's absolutely beautiful. And then when I got to meet her, the personality, like I'll say something real quick. When we go to my house, we call each other regatta ass, hurry up. How long we got to wait to eat? And then we go to my wife's house. It's like kiss on the both sides. Oh, how you doing, Anthony? I'm in a bad mood. Meanwhile, I'm saying, listen, shut the fuck up. How you doing? I mean, they're so nice over there. It's sickening. I want to run. They're so nice. It's just unreal. No matter how traumatized. Like I was on the front page of the paper, and to this day, sometimes I bust my wife's balls to make her laugh because I love to hear her laugh. She got a funny laugh. She got a broken down English still.
Yeah, you're breaking up. You're breaking up, Ant.
Oh, I am. You hear me now?
I can hear you okay.
Yeah. So, what was I saying now?
About your wife.
Oh, yeah.
Where you play with each other.
Yeah. So I believe in first instinct. And when I met her, I fell in love with her right away. To this day, like I said, I make it like making her laugh. There's times she threw knives at me, forks stuck in the couch. I mean, big knives. I mean, really thrown at me. It goes right to the couch and stick there. And to this day, I said, "You're the crazy one. Look, you're throwing knives, trying to kill me. I never laid a hand on you." But I fell in love with her accent, the way she talks. I'll say this, and I'm not afraid to say this, and it's nothing sexual, but when we have love, I make her talk to me in Portuguese, and it's just unreal. It's unreal. The sex is unreal because she talks in Portuguese and forget about it. It's just, I still love her to this day, and it's just when she talks Portuguese. And now, if you've ever been to a Portuguese wedding?
No.
I advise you to go one. It's like they dance forever. The food keeps coming. The girls are beautiful, but they dance forever, and the way they dance is like the Puerto Ricans, the Latins. It's sexy dance. Yeah. But I married an angel. I got lucky. Right? To me, like you said, all the fathers are saying, "What'd you go with this guy for?" I wish she left me 35 years ago. I really do. If she left me 35 years, she probably had 6 kids. She lived in a big, rich area. I mean, she makes over $150,000 in 2 jobs herself. So, to this day, I still borrow. People laugh at me. I still need gas money now when things are bad. I mean, it's bad. I don't mean to laugh, but she'll come home from work. She works 2 jobs, and I said, "Liz, you might give me 40. What for now?" I said, "I need some gas. I gave you gas yesterday, so I use it for food or something." A lot of bad stuff I do to her, but for some reason, she always, she got the same outfits for the last 25 years. She never buys herself new stuff, and she's a beautiful woman. Chicks are. She don't need nothing. She never buys new stuff. But like I said, I was always a hang-around guy. When I dropped my son off for college, me and my wife, my wife's up there folding the clothes, putting the TV together. I can't even put a light bulb in. And so I said, "Come on, Anthony, let's take a walk." So when I walked around, it was like a fantasy world to me because I'd never been to a college. I was a hang around guy. I dropped them off. It was the best food. There was girls all over the place. I was hitting on the mothers. I shouldn't say that one. I couldn't help it. There was girls everywhere, and just it was like a little. It had everything: a gym to work out with, everything he had. I couldn't believe it. Like to this day, like when I talked to him, he called me at 3:00 the other day. He goes, "Dad." I go, "What? What are you calling me, waking me up for?" He goes, "Dad, I was at a frat party. I fell in love with a Staten Island girl. The way they talk, Dad, I gotta marry one. The Staten Island girls are unreal." You know, and meanwhile, like a father, I said, did you get something? Yeah, I got a blowjob, Dad. I shouldn't tell you that, but I got a blowjob. You know, I shouldn't say that. But you know, I love my kid to death. But damn, I didn't realize what college is life. I would have went to college. Like, look at me. I videotape Larry ESPN. I would have moved right up, but I turned into a puppet, gambling over everything. Which I'm surprised I'm alive, honestly.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. Me too. Trust me. So, do you think there's ever going to come a point where you're done altogether as far as gambling, or is it too much of a passion?
No, too much of a passion. I mean, the only good thing about it, I bet what I got now.
Yeah, he's a lot smarter, Chris. He's a lot smarter, you know.
And I'm not kidding when I say I went there 25 days in a row, 26 days in a row. I've been on a run. Like when I get on runs, you know, all my friends get mad at me because I don't call nobody. As soon as you start hanging around with people, you change your mind, you listen to them, you do different things. I've been on a run for like 25, 26 days in a row, and my friends would get mad at me. I come back to my car, it's scratched up, broken window. I mean, I know I know through the grapevine who's doing it, but, you know, it's my fault because we're going every day and a lot of stuff. You know, I don't call people. But when you get on a run, when I get on a run, like I said, I mean, I'll bring it to this day. And I'll take a lie detector test. I told you, I seen lines before the games were over back in Vegas. But
Chris, you know what's crazy? I don't mean to cut him off. You know what's crazy, Chris? I just want to give you two sides of the coin. Grasso was a gambler his whole life, right? So he's got the aspect where he loves gambling. Okay. Now, keep in mind, since I was a kid, all the way up, you know, until probably my late 30s, I was a bookmaker. So I took the bets. So I never was a gambler. I saw so many people get stuck. So many people have to pay payment plans. So it's just what I'm saying is we both grew up together around the same people. But because we went two different aspects, I never was a gambler. And you can ask Ross. He tries to get me all the time. Come on, Chicky, let's go to the casino.
Yeah. I try to get Chicky because he's the funniest guys around. But like you said, you know how many times I was on the phone? I called up this one. You called over the phone. Yeah. Give me the Yankees. Give me this, and that. And he goes, Tone, you know you're up, right? Take the goddamn money. What do you keep betting for?
Yeah.
And a couple of days later, I'm down. I'm hiding again.
Yeah. So when you're a bookmaker, you see the people where you're shutting them off, and they come in with these bullshit like so many guys. It's like so many tricks, Chris. Me as a bookmaker would be on the phone, and they would be like, let me just give an example. They'd say, give me Red Sox 400. Now, if the Red Sox won, they would say, well, I bet them for 400. But if they lost, you know, vice versa, they'd say for 100. So you got to repeat everything back. And we used to record everything. But nowadays, they got it down pat. You call Costa Rica, and they got an 800 number in Costa Rica. Usually the bookmaker pays $20 a guy. If they got 100 guys with it, you know, $20 a guy. They call Costa Rica. They get the right lines. You can't get robbed. The people on the phone don't rob you because remember, if you're in the office, you got to watch the guys that rob you. We used to have to fax right when the game started. We used to use the water paper where if the feds come through the door, you throw it in the water and it dissolves. There was so many things we had to do back in the day that nowadays that's all done with because they get an 800 number. They call Costa Rica or the Caribbean or wherever, and they got people that are on the lines, you know, right to you can't get screwed over, and you give everybody a limit, and that's it. The people shut the people down, and there's no making claims because these people that's their business. They're on top of it, and there's no more bullshitting in the office. People robbing you, you know, past posting. Them days are over. So it's a whole nother ball game now, you know.
Yeah. Hey, tell you real quick about gambling. Now this is where I want all the people to understand this.
Is this in response to this question?
What's that?
Do you see this question? Is this in response to that?
What's it say?
It says, I read online that out of all addictions, gambling has the highest suicide rate. Did you ever contemplate suicide?
To me personally, I always used to play the role like, I'm going to kill myself, this and that. No way. Listen, I like life so much. Life is so, even when I'm down, I used to laugh, ball bust. There's times, no, let's just put it, no, I would never commit suicide. I never even thought about it. But I would bullshit people. Yeah, if I don't pay, I'm going to have to kill. I never even thought about it. Simple, no way. I used to play the dumb role. But what I was saying was, damn, I lost my thought.
No, you said, let me tell you this about gambling.
Oh, yeah. So what I would do to calm down, like I know all the, oh my God, why we lose? I used to go up to a casino with a sports bet, sitting there, start boozing up, laughing. I can't drink 2 drinks. I start laughing, hitting on everyone's girl. I can't help it. But so I used to go up there and just listen to the stories. I mean, don't bet. Just listen to the people like I heard them all before. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Why'd they take the picture out? He's the stupidest manager I ever seen in my life. Why is this guy pitching this long? This guy's terrible. Why is he pitching in the big leagues? I mean, I heard every story. Why is this happening to me? This guy posted. I mean, I hear all the same stories I used to say. Oh my God, just the little stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, these guys. Because to this generation, people fire. People bet heavy. There's just some young kids that bet 10,000, 20 a game. And most of the place I hang around, they'll take any action.
Grass. Tell them the stories up in Twin River before they made Connecticut legal for betting. Tell them the stories about the drug dealer guys that used to come in and what they used to bet a game. The guys that you were coming off the street. Remember, you used to see them? Tell them how much you used to see.
They used to come bags of money. The Dominicans, and you never think Dominicans and Jamaicans would bet a lot. They used to come with bags of money, but with an entourage. They used to bet 100,000. No one takes 100,000 a game, right? They go up and bet 100,000 a game, 50,000 a game, 200. And I'm looking at these guys. I said, damn, these kids fire. But they're betting 100,000. I see 200,000 on a game. The worst thing I ever of all time is when I seen a kid right next to me. Brady's playing the Rams. And how could you bet against Tom Brady in a Super Bowl? I understand he lost 2 Super Bowls, but this was when they played the Rams with Goff at the quarterback, and he had happy feet the whole game. I know it was a close game, but the guy bet 280,000. I was like, I don't like to get into people's business. I looked at him. I said, you're playing Tom Brady, right? And he got yelled at me. Screw yourself. Bet who you want. He got mad at me. But, gambling's an art, but it's a disease. But I'm telling you, you can make a lot of money. But the only way you could do it, I think you got to be by yourself. Don't listen to no one. But gambling's, I'm telling you, for all the followers and people listening to me, watch 2 for the Money with Al Pacino. And I'm telling you, my story's better than that one. And that went to the film.
100%.
Yeah, it went to the film. I know Damon came in and, he wanted to say his stuff, and that's fine. We love Damon to death. But there's a lot of things that we missed out on. But, he came in. He wanted to say his stuff. That's fine. But I hope I didn't forget a bunch of stuff.
Chris, we had people in the last month, and Grasso will tell you, we had people in the last month, Chris, and I think you can't get into particulars, but we had a woman from Netflix reach out to us, and we had a woman from HBO Sports reach out to us that want to do a documentary on Grasso's story. And, that's either here or there. They give you a lot of bullshit talk. And right now, there's lawyers involved and nothing's really set in stone. But I'm just telling you, if all the people listening to this story today, if you got the right people, the right actors, you got the right people producing it, just have them sleeping in this car in the winter, freezing cold, all the way to being in a suite, with 330,000 in the safe. Just think about what kind of movie that would be. I'm just saying, people that use
also a one-way ticket.
And a one-way ticket, Chris.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It would be an amazing documentary. Or
I should have been out there. So I should have been a dealer or security guard. There's no way I should have came back. No way. There's no way. I mean, that first game went down to the wire. And like you said, I went on my knees, cried like a baby. But when you turn $980 into, remember, I paid everyone off an extra, so probably 80,000 I sent back, and I had 320 when I came back.
How much? About 400,000 gross total?
Yeah, probably more because I spent 20,000 on women and 20,000 just giving to people. I mean, I had a time. There's nothing
spending food and eating and going out.
Food and eating. And all the people I met, like the movie stars and stuff like that.
Probably $500,000 gross total.
Yeah, close to 500,000, and plus, the best feeling in the world is when you got money and you give people that don't have money, not just like a $10 on the street, and you get all excited. Oh, I did a good deed. I gave $10. When you give someone $2,000 and they got nothing, they look in the eyes and they think you're God. You know, I'm not God. I'm just saying when someone does people get excited. Oh, I gave $10 to a bum on the street. They get all excited. You know, like they're doing a good deed. I gave 2,000 so many times to people on the street, and people are following me. You know, I know what it's like to be down. You need, first of all, you need money to make money. And what I did is just like, God gave me a chance to start over again. Like I said, I'm Catholic. He gave me a chance to cut over. As soon as I went home, I went back to my old way. and you don't even know the stories I've been. I lost $100,000 on one roll of a crap table, and that quick. And there's times where I sent couple of friends I used to hang around with $150,000 3 times to Vegas to bet on a baseball game, which won 3 times. The 4th time it lost. I mean, I was out of control. Like sometimes I'll sit down, like thinking, Tony, do you know what? I used to get gas money $40, and I'm betting $180,000 on a baseball game, which the kid got to bet $6,000, $6,000, $6,000, $6,000 because you can only bet the most.
Yeah, the line goes up, Chris.
Yeah, the most you can bet. They'll take anything in football. Everything else, it's different. But
and Chris, he's telling this story, and people listening, I don't mean to cut him off. People listening right now, they're like, this is bullshit. When they hear that kind of number, Chris, I know what people are saying because I was saying it, but I know the story. I've been with him. I've seen it. This kid is on the line. Okay. He will bet $25,000 on a football game and then go eat a hot dog and French fry at the little stand in the casino, where I'm saying, listen, you bet $25,000. Let's go have a nice dinner, a nice bottle of wine. Let's go enjoy our life and watch the game. He'll bet $25,000 on an NFL game and go eat a hot dog and French fry, and the mustard dripping down his face. I mean, it's crazy how they think, a degenerate gambler.
Yeah, if you go to like an off-track betting and you walk in there, people are betting, they'll have 2 different kind of sneakers, same jeans on, hair not washed, they stink. I mean, there's
crazy.
There's times where I didn't even eat because degenerates don't eat. All he wants to do is gamble.
Yeah.
But just the little stuff. I mean, I can go in another hour and tell you stories about my other friend I hung around with, that the stuff we did. I mean, there's another time we'll get on the show, but there's so much busting balls, laughing. There's so much craziness that when I'm telling you, and I'm not kidding. There's 3 things that are true. And I'm not kissing no one's ass. And Chicky was one of the best bookmakers around for like 25 years back in the day. He was big time. But also, I mean, the stories in Springfield is just like Philadelphia. It's crazy. It's well known. There's degenerates. Every kid in Springfield, if you come, they can make a movie about Springfield, and tons of people got stories left and right. There's so much stuff that went on in Springfield. I still remember back. You guys remember Duke? Remember Duke came in with Mike Krzyzewski. Damn, I forgot the name of it. Christian Leitner. Remember Christian Leitner? You guys remember Christian Leitner of Duke? So he came into the Hall of Fame game with Duke, and I remember him being up at 10 years after, and 6 guys wanted to attack him, and no one knew who he was. And I know sports like you wouldn't believe it. I said, listen, this is Christian. Christian Leitner is like 6'10". So I told him, I said, leave the kid alone. He don't know what's going on. He's young, and since I know so much sports, he's lucky he got out of there alive, Christian Leitner.
Because, Chris, you got to understand, Springfield, Mass. is home of Basketball Hall of Fame. Dr. Naismith at Springfield College, they invented basketball, okay? So when they do these once a year Hall of Fame inductions, at any time you might have Michael Jordan here, Eaton, all the top basketball players come here once a year for the different introductions of people. You know what I'm saying? So time there's, you could be out anywhere and you'll run into these professional, huge NBA stars,
Yeah.
Any more questions?
No. This is we're about 2 hours and 10 minutes in.
Wow.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to have you guys back on at some point, maybe in a few weeks or something, if you'd like.
Anytime.
Yeah, we could do it again because I know you guys got a lot more stories.
Forget it. But I just want to thank. Can I just thank everybody? I put it up on my Instagram, official _ Chicky Cechetelli. I put it up, and I just want to thank everybody. Please, everybody out there that's coming on for the first time listening to Chris and Fat Bald Sicilian, hit subscribe, hit like, watch the kid. He does a hell of a job. Him and his wife, they're great people. They're doing a hell of a show. And it's just,
Thank you, Chicky.
like I said, we came on because we like him and his wife. They're doing a great job on YouTube. So anybody that is not a person, please hit subscribe and hit like. And thank you for all my people that came on to listen to these crazy stories. And anybody listening to us, there's no way in our wildest dreams we could make up the shit we came up with tonight. This is all 100% true. Google any one of our names. You'll see everything we said is true, unfortunately. And at the end of the day, our family comes first, and that's what it's all about now. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who listened. I hope you had fun and laughed a little bit, and I hope you also got a little bit of a lesson from myself and Grasso. But thank you so much for giving me the time to tell our story.
Oh, of course. Thank you for coming on, both of you. I appreciate it very much. And everybody, Chicky, you want to plug your Instagram or anything?
Yeah, just my Instagram. I'm anybody follows me knows I'm crazy. I put up all crazy stuff. I put my grandkids. I put up friends of mine. I put up pictures of friends of mine. I just go crazy. I put up crazy music, but at least you'll get a little laugh. My Instagram's official _ Chicky and my last name Chichetelli. You see the spelling on the screen. Like I said, I have about 6 Instagram accounts, but that's my new one. The other Instagram kicked me off of. Somehow they keep kicking me off. I don't do nothing wrong, but what are you gonna do?
All right. Well, yeah. Thank you again, Anthony. Is there anything you want to say?
No, it was like you said. I grew up with Chick. I love him to death. He's real. Not too many people left, but left around that just 100% real. He's real. He got a great heart. And first time I met you, I like you. I think you're real awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. This was great. You're a trip, man. I could listen to you all day, tell these stories and stuff. I was looking forward to this all week. So I loved having you on. And like I said, you're welcome back anytime. And I can't wait till that documentary or movie is in production, and then you could come on and plug that. That would be great also.
Great.
So, all right, guys. So thank you again.
Not to cut you off, I want to tell you, Chris, guess who I was with today? One of your buddies. We were on the set in Hartford, Connecticut at the Willie Pep movie, and I had told you, who's the kid? Louis, the kid from
Louis Vanaria.
What's his
Crazy
name?
Mario. Louis Vanaria.
Yeah, Crazy Mario was with me today. We were busting chops. I was laughing with him. I took some pictures with him. We did some videos. I took him out to lunch. He said he did your show. I said I was doing it tonight. He was laughing. Good kid. He's playing a part in the movie. And then we're back on the set Monday in Hartford, Connecticut. And we're filming a movie. And it's incredible to see the actual real movie being filmed. It's the real deal. And me and Damien are in it. And we were there today. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see all the videos today of us on the set, busting chops, going out to lunch. We had a good time. So we're back on the set Monday. Grasso will be there. And then remember, Hungry Hill's coming out. The trailer's coming out this week. Grasso is going to be in the trailer with me. And like I said, positive thing. The crazy life is over. We're just trying to move forward, do positive things. And anybody that's been around us that wants to do the right thing are included with us. And anybody looking to do negative shit, hey, I salute. We wish them the best, but they're not with us.
I hear you. Absolutely. All right. Everybody's very happy with this. I can see from the comments a lot of good feedback. So thank you guys again. I appreciate it very much. And hopefully we'll talk soon and maybe we could do this again.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you again. Thank you to everybody for listening. Have a great night. And remember, hug your kids at night. Hug your kids and your wife and your family, because that's what's more important than anything. None of this crazy bullshit means anything at the end of the day.
That's right. It's true.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good night. Ciao.
Yep. All right. So that went well. There was really no need. I had pages of questions written down. I went over Anthony's story with him a couple of days ago because I wanted to have everything written down. But once Anthony started telling the story, I realized that there's no need for me to even ask most of the questions, just one or two here and there. the best way to do it is probably to just listen to Anthony tell his story because it's an amazing story and he's good at telling it. Chicky also, I like Chicky a lot. I got a lot of respect for Chicky. I think he's a good dude. Another guy who lived an amazing life. So it was great to have both of them on, and I appreciate it. And I thank you guys for being here. Natalie C. Christie, 499. Great show. Those guys are more interesting than my son, I think. Thank you, Natalie. Oh well, gotta just let him go. Yeah, it's the best way to do it. Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate it. Yeah, it went on for a long time, but that's great because there's a lot to fit in. So I knew it would be a long show. That was no problem at all. But I'd love to have them on again because I could ask the two of those guys questions for hours, and you guys had a lot of questions in here. Let's see, FBS. Whenever I hear Springfield stories, I'm loving it. These guys just make me remember so much about the old days. Thank you, man. These guys got to be heard. Yeah, it's cool for me too because I never knew that much about Springfield and that area, organized crime in that area and stuff. So very interesting for me also. Thank you, Pinkville. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys liked it. Once Anthony gets going, you don't stop him. He's great. I agree. Yeah. There's no need to. And he's got more than that. Like I have stuff written down, you know what I mean? But like I said, I think it would be best to just do another show at some point. I'm going to check him out in Hartford on Monday. It's 25 minutes away from me. It was a great show, but I think Damien isn't for YouTube, plus all the blocking on barely significant stuff. It costs money in the long run. Damien, I think Damien's a good dude. I like listening to Damien. I don't know. Everybody has their preferences, I guess, but and for the love of God, hit the notification bell. Yeah, please like and subscribe, guys. I'd appreciate it very much. Especially any of you who are listening to me for the first time. I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe, especially subscribe. It means a lot. Let's see what else we got here. I like to hear Chicky's stories more. Me too. Absolutely. Stories where you grew up are great. Chicky is legit. Known about him and his family forever. Yeah, Rye Guy 86 FBS. Can I talk to you in private on the addiction? I'm in a bad spot. If not, love the show and understand. Yeah, of course, Rye Guy, without a doubt. Just email me at fatballeditalian at gmail. Let's see. Brooklyn Bounce. Yeah, everybody, please subscribe. And I want to see something here. Let me see. Let me get to this. Where are we at with this guy? Give me a second, guys. All right, so listen. Can we do something great here? This would mean a lot to me. Tom Lochner, 499. Tuco was talking trash about your guest in Tony Pizza's chat. Who the fuck is Tuco? Bro, I don't even know who that is. Who is Tuco? Only Tuco I know is from Breaking Bad. Oh, this guy? Oh, it was this dude. Oh, okay. I didn't remember saying his name, Tuco. What was he saying? He was talking trash about your guest in Tony Pizza's chat. I guess he can say what he wants, right? I mean, but thank you for the super chat, Tom. Absolutely, Johnny. It's hard to do unless I get your link. That's why I asked you for that. What the fuck happened with your volume? I don't know. Everything should still be the same. Oh, but can we do something? Well, that's his problem for sure. He called them boring. Yeah, well, tell him to do a better show. So, guys, 134 people here. First of all, please hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed to me, please do that. But my friend, my buddy, somebody I consider a personal friend and a good dude, Brooklyn guy Vinny Bracco, has 970 subscribers. 970. He only needs 30 more to get to 1,000 and be monetized. You have no idea how much I would appreciate if any of you who are not subscribed to Brooklyn Guy will subscribe now. Please, let's see what we can do. I will be so happy if we can get this guy to 1,000 before I end this show. So please help me out. Can somebody please drop Brooklyn Guy's link? I am on a fucking on a mission right now. Is that Brooklyn Guy? There's his link. It's in the chat. Please, everybody. Let's do this for him. Vinny is a good fucking guy, man. He talks about mental health. He talks about the old days in Brooklyn. He tells his life story. He does interviews. He talks mob stuff. He does all that shit. He's part of the Four Horsemen. And this is a guy who I really have a lot of respect for. So it would be an honor to me if my show could get him to 1,000 subscribers before I end this show. It would really be an honor. That would mean a lot to me. So please, guys, if you're not already subbed to Vinny, we only need 25 more. We got him at 975. 131 people in here. Let's see if we can make this happen. If a homeless guy in a car, a scumbag, can come on YouTube and raise $600 during a marathon show, then I would think we'd be able to get Brooklyn Guy to 1,000. So let's see what we could do. Please, please. Brooklyn Guy, where we at? 976. Come on, guys. All right, good night, U.S. Army Combat Medic. Thank you for your service, sir. Yeah, he absolutely did. Let's do an FPS. We got this Brooklyn Guy, Vinny Bracco. Yeah, man. There's his link right there. Click on it. Everybody, come on. Let's get him 1,000. 976 still. We only got him 6 subs so far. Come on, guys. If you don't want to see it, just don't hit the notification bell, but sub anyway. Let's see what we can do. 978. 979. Still 979. 980. 981, 982, 98. I don't know how to do an auctioneer thing. Canarsie usually does that for me. 981. 19 subs, 982. You guys are fucking awesome. Do I hear 990? We get him to 990, 990, 990. 982 still. 18 more. Now, that's all we need. You should be ashamed for not subbing. Just click the bottom. Yes, I'm talking to you. Sold at 1,000. Yeah, can we do it, guys? 127 people in here. Come on. 982. Keep dropping that link. Keep dropping that link. I will, Bright Guy 86. I'll check it out after the show. Let's see. Gunsmoke says, come on, you pricks. Start subbing to Vinny Bracco now, damn it. We're still at 982. 18 more, guys. Listen, you just got a great show. A couple of good guests. All positivity today. No talking about you know who or the other guy. Just simply positivity. So let's make this happen for my man Vinny. 985, 15 left. Brooklyn guy, Vinny Bracco. Come on, we could do it. We could do it. We could do it. We did it for Gunsmoke. We did it for, I think, Black Handprint Mafia. I'm sure we've done it for others. I think we got Jeff Nadeau over 1,000. Matter of fact, I think we did that last night. 987, 13 to go. 13 to go. Let's do it. Yeah, there's got to be 13 people out of this 133 that will sub to my friend Vinny. This will really make my night, guys. I appreciate it very much. $9.89, 11 more. I want to send Vinny a text message during the show before it ends, and it has to end soon. Rye Guy 86 is going to sub right now. I want to send him a text that says, "Congratulations on hitting 1,000 subs, Paisan." That's what I want to do. It'll make me happy. 991. 9 more, you guys. Please help us out. Keyshawn Montana, Gary Indiana family of LCN said I subscribed twice. Della's my name said we got you, bro. Right guy 86 just subbed. We're at 990. We got the 10 countdown. Anybody who subscribes to Brooklyn Guy, the last 10 people, I will gladly give you a shout out. And I want to give a shout out to one of our friendly, one of my subscribers and one of our friends in the chat, Todd Father. It is his birthday. Happy birthday to Todd Father. You're the man. I appreciate your friendship and everything else. And I hope you have a great birthday because you deserve it. You're a hardworking man and a good father. And I wish you nothing but the best for your birthday. Brooklyn Guy, Vinny Bracco, 996. 4 more. If you tell me who you are, I'll gladly give you a shout out. 997. Can I send the text yet? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, shit, I lost it. What the fuck happened? I don't want to miss the big moment. 1,000 subs. Thank you, guys. Oh, that's awesome, man. Let me send him the text right now. Oh, that makes me happy. And I just texted him back. I don't know if he's on right now or what, but that is excellent, guys. 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Yes, Vinny does deserve it. Vinny is the man. I love to do things. Listen, guys, this is me. This is the way I am. It's the honest to God truth. Anybody who knows me knows this, even if it's just from YouTube. If there's anything I could ever do to help anybody, a smaller channel or anything, or if you've been good to me at any point, I will do the best I can. He says he has 970. Wait a minute. I will do the best I can to help, and Vinny deserves it. And you know what? Carlos has a point. Some of this might be trolls and shit, so please, guys, keep subscribing. Vinny, now you hit 1,000, my friend. I just made sure of it. Not anymore. You had 970 when I started. Hold on. I'm going to put you on speaker. I'm live, all right?
Oh, shit.
There you go. You're on speaker. You're on live. Everybody can hear you.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
These guys helped me out in the chat. If you check right now, Brooklyn guy Vinny Bracco, 1K subscribers.
Thank you. Can they hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
I want you to know, thank this man, because I was ready to give up after a few days, and he got on the phone with me and talked me off the ledge. Second time in my life I've been talked off the ledge. One time I almost went down, and he convinced me and did everything. So Chris, I love you, man. You are responsible for this more so than me. I really believe that.
No, I love you too, bro. But you did this, man.
Thank you so much. I got to go in now and jump and do the happy dance. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you soon.
I'll give you a buzz tomorrow. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. See, man. That's what I do this for. I love to be able to help people. Vinny is a good man. And like I said, I can listen to him all day. But yeah, it wouldn't hurt if more people keep subbing, just in case. You know what I mean? It's good to do for Vinny. He deserves this. He deserves it very much. Vinny is great. FBS, you rock. So do you, Carlos. Thank you, man. Thank you, all you, the moderators tonight, too. You guys held me down in here. I appreciate it because we know. Oh, shit. We know people would like to have destroyed this show if they have if they had the chance. So I appreciate you. I will sub one more watch. I feel so good now. A little gun smoke. Vinny Bracco absolutely deserves it. If trolls are hitting the button, he helps sick kids with cancer and other horrible sicknesses. They should really take a look at themselves. That's fucking right. Vinny is a truly good person. I mean, that's all there is to it. He's just a good guy. So that's all I can say. Dell is my name, says FBS. Great segment, no side BS. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Miss Can't Be Wrong. So listen, guys, this is what I want to do more of: positive stuff, mob stuff, real good content. I want to shout out Jerry the art guy for making this amazing thumbnail. I was going to make this a background too. He made this for this show. Guy's incredible. If you look at the fucking detail, not just the money and the odds and everything up here, the lines, he's got both the names. He used the Vegas sign. He's got, if you look behind him, he's got the horse race and football. He's got the Lennox Lewis Oliver McCall fight. He's got the roulette table. He's got the cards. He put everything into this. Jerry the art guy is supremely talented. So if anybody needs him for thumbnails, banners for your YouTube channel, intros, anything, trailers, his email is movierama777@gmail.com. So Jerry helped out with this show too, and I am forever grateful to Jerry. No, yes, we do. We absolutely do, and we will. But we got Vinny done for now. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this because this is what I'm going to continue to do. Now, obviously, it's unfortunate, as you guys can see. People like to pick this out about my show, so I'll just do it for them. When I do shows like this, there's barely any money in it. Super chats, cash apps, none of that stuff for some reason seems to come with the good content. It all comes with the drama and stuff. I'll never understand that for the life of me. But listen, this is what I'd rather do. And if it means taking a financial hit, it is what it is. But I really don't want to be put in a position like that guy's in where I have to do all this crazy shit and just say nasty things and constantly be involved in some sort of drama just to make money on YouTube. I really don't want to do that. So I'm putting forth my best effort. And if it costs me, it costs me. But it's more worth it to me to do stuff like this. So, with that being said, I appreciate you all very much. Everybody, please hit that like button. I love you guys, the moderators. You guys are the shit. I appreciate you. And I'm glad we got to do this tonight. And congratulations to Vinny on his 1,000 subs. If anybody would like to help support my channel, my Cash App is in the description of this show and every show. All donations are greatly appreciated, and they do mean a lot. I'll always give you a shout out, and if you want, read your message when you send them. So that's it for tonight, guys, unless, who knows? Thank you for everything. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Salute.